Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another broadcast of Jackson Hole High School Sports as we settle in here live from the William T. McIntosh Stadium in Jackson, Wyoming to catch a little bit of 2024 football season. And it's so great to have it underway finally. Jackson Bronx gets set to host the Douglas Bearcats in this season opener. And all the action this season brought to you by Mountain Alarm of Jackson Hole. Highest quality security, safety, and automation backed by the best customer service in the business. WYDOT, the Wyoming Department of Transportation, keeping our highways safe. Serve Pro of Jackson Hole, faster to any disaster like it never happened. Serve Pro. Jackson Hole Ford, your locally owned and operated dealership. And Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on. For Jackson Hole Radio, I'm Jake Nichols alongside Kimmy K, and we are so excited for this home opener. Football season officially underway. I know we had a game last week. A week 0 game, some count that, some don't. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, let's set the scene for you. This is going to be a battle of two teams that have a lot of newness to them. They're very similar in the fact that they're both young. Both of these teams, Douglas and Jackson, are led by their juniors. They both graduated a ton of players, so there's a lot we don't know about. We're going to see a lot of new faces. Both these teams have a new head coach patrolling the sidelines. Keith Jackson for the Jackson Bronx in his first year, and Drew Hodges gets the call on the Douglas Bearcats side. So a lot of newness, two new quarterbacks we've never seen. At least during the regular season, and a lot of new faces. I'm excited to get to know the new Bronx and get our first look at the Douglas Bearcats. Converse County hasn't seen their Bearcats play at all yet this season. We got a good one cooking up here. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk more about the pregame right after we take this break. We talked to both head coaches, by the way. Both home and away coaches, so we'll explore what they think about this matchup, and we'll drill down on the all-time historic Douglas versus Jackson competition, and we'll take a look at keys to the game, some players to watch. We'll do it all on this pregame. More coming up on the Bronx Pregame Show right here on the home of the Bronx, Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
Hey Bronx fans, do you want the best security for your home or business? Well, call the local experts today at Mountain Alarm, a proud part of Pye Barker Fire and Safety. Mountain Alarm provides world-class fire, security, life safety, and surveillance, teamed with unmatched customer service and the highest-rated 24/7 monitoring. With our state-of-the-art systems, you can get text or email alerts in the event of an alarm or view live and recorded video on your smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can also remotely control your thermostats, lights, locks, garage doors, and so much more. Call 307-733-5844 or visit mountainalarm.com today to get a free assessment and no obligation quote on a new or upgraded system for your home or business.
You're watching and listening to live coverage of Jackson Hole High School sports on KZ95.
Back to the live action of the MAC. It's the pregame show. And first, let's take a look at our opponents, Jackson's opponents, the Douglas Bearcats. You know, we know nothing about this team, quite honestly. And, you know, there's a lot of question marks for head coach Drew Hodges as well. Last week, Jackson participated in a week 0 game. It's kind of a preseason game for Jackson. They stepped down in conference to play the 2A Glen Rock. Jackson really looked fantastic, but again, that's stepping down in conference, so it could be misleading. There's still a lot of things to be answered for the Jackson Bronx, And for Douglas, they simply don't know. They graduated so many top players, including their speedy wideout, Trenton Pearson. He's running track at the collegiate level, by the way, Trenton Pearson. He's just signed with Black Hills State to run track. And their three-sport quarterback, the athletic Trey Rinn, who set all kinds of records last year for Douglas. The Bearcats are not a team that throws a bunch, but Trey Rinn reinvented the Douglas Bearcats last year. He set records that may never be broken, and suddenly this running team was throwing the ball. So he's gone as well, and we get a whole new look at our Douglas Bearcats. But first, let's get familiar with the new Douglas Bearcats coach. Now, he's new as a head coach. He takes over for JHHS, who is simply legendary. Hodges, 18 years as the head coach of Douglas, with an overall record of 136 wins, 44 losses, 3 state titles. He had a three-peat in 08, 09 to 2010. I mean, how do you replace a guy like Coach Hodges, who has now moved on to become the AD at Douglas? Drew Hodges, how do you replace Coach Rhodes? Drew Hodges is going to do the best he can. He's came up in the system. He's been an assistant coach. None of this is new to Coach Hodges, but he did talk about the newness that's going to be happening and what it's like to take over for a legend like Coach Rhodes.
All of that's true.
Yeah, no doubt. It's tough, man. Trey was an unbelievable athlete for us, and he was a 3-sport athlete. He's an all-state in all 3 of those sports. So I don't know if you really replace a guy like that, but our quarterback right now is going to do just fine. He's a great field manager. He's been playing varsity basketball since he's a freshman, so he's got some varsity competition underneath his belt. But like you said, man, it's hard to replace those guys. Tegan Seeds up front, man, he's playing for UW right now as a lineman. Malachi Lennon up front, and like you said, Trenton Pearson running collegiately for Black Hills State. So we definitely have some holes to fill, but that's any football team. Next man up and know your role and get to work.
Yeah, Coach Hodges, you heard him talk about the new quarterback. That's going to be Colin Roberts. And look at the similarities again between these two teams. Boy, they just remind me of each other. They're both young, junior-driven, junior-led, and they're both fast as all get out. Wait till you see how speedy these teams are. And the quarterbacks remind me of each other. They're both juniors. They're both in the neighborhood of 6'1", 6'2", 185, both big kids, and both in their first year calling the signals for their respective teams. Colin Roberts will be quarterbacking for the Douglas Bearcats. But still, it's the same old Bearcats. This is a team that has always been defense-led and very aggressive defensively. This is a very physical and defensive, aggressive team. Are they still going to be? We asked Coach Hodges.
Yeah, I think that is our identity. Every 11 guys to the football. That's what we preach offensively and defensively. Be physical up front. If you can out-physical a team, you're gonna have success. So we want to be physical up front. We want to swarm to the football, and we just want to eliminate mistakes, eliminate pre-snap penalties, be smart, no mental errors.
One thing the Bearcats have going for them that's familiarity is number 42. You're going to hear his number called throughout the night. Carter Archuleta is a generational football player. He's playing on another level. 5'9", 220. The senior has been the middle linebacker for this team since he was a freshman. Late last season, Archuleta broke the all-time tackle record in Douglas, 305 tackles. He's got better than that, and he still hasn't played a snap this season. Unbelievable. Carter Archuleta is a beast, and Jackson better identify this guy.
Oh, absolutely. He's been our starting middle linebacker since he was a freshman. So, he's the leader defensively for sure. He's one of our leaders on offense as well. So our defense runs around him. He kind of just clogs up the middle for us. And then offensively, he's a load to bring down. So I'm excited for that kid this year. He's got a little more added weight to him this year. He's going to get a few more touches. And so we'll see how he responds.
We'll take a hard look at the Douglas Bearcat players and players to watch in just a bit. But right now, let's take our focus to the Jackson Broncs and your all-new Jackson Broncs for this 2024 season. We'll take a look at the hometown black and orange when we come back. You're enjoying Jackson Broncs pregame show with the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
When fire, water, mold, or other damage threatens your home or business, hand the cleanup over to the company that stays with you every step of the way. The trained professionals at ServPro handle everything from commercial water loss to residential handyman services and everything in between. Call ServPro of Jackson Hole at 307-342-1400 anytime, day or night, to schedule an appointment. That number, 307-342-1400 for ServPro.
Back to the action at the MAC, awaiting kickoff. We're just minutes away. Let's take a look at your new 2024 Jackson Broncs, beginning with a brand new head coach. This team, this organization has gone through a lot of changes at head coach, from David Joyce to David White, and finally we get a non-David, Keith Johnson, who, by the way, you're going to see his kid quarterbacking, so he's got a dog in the fight, so to speak. Coach Johnson ready to take the helm and bring some stability to this program, but it's all new. We're going to see all new players, all new personnel and faces. Many of the coaches remain the same for Coach Johnson, many of the line coaches and assistant coaches, so that'll be some familiarity. The offensive line is going to be Jackson's pride this season. That's the experience. That's where the leadership is going to come from. The offensive line so far, with just 1 week to judge it by, looks really, really good. And there's some interesting players at the skill positions. But we asked Coach Johnson, hey, what do you think? You've been 1 week on the job. How's it looking so far? And here's what he said.
All of that's true. And I would add new system, both on offense and defense, to the soup, but we have some really experienced new coaches. We have a offensive coordinator that was a head coach and athletic director for 12 years. We've got an offensive line coach that played for Notre Dame. We have a defensive back coach that's a D1 athlete. We have coaches that have been with us for a while, running our D, and Ryan Bell and Coach Wiley. And then we've got some up-and-comers like Connor Davis and David Kirkpatrick, who was Teacher of the Year last year, who's the lead coach for the JV. So we have more coaches this year helping us, and that helps us to run what's also, in addition to all those things you mentioned, a bigger program. We got 93 kids, and 3 teams. And so there's been a lot to figure out, but we're in great shape, and I think this is as good as I've seen our team start, since I lived here. And we had a long summer of strength and conditioning, and we are senior led by our line, both on offense and defense. And that's the strength of our football team.
Well, it does look like a good start for the Jackson Broncs, and I understand they're playing a 2A team last week at a neutral site in Riverton. We were unable to carry that game, but the end result looked really positive. I think the score was like 42-6. Jackson just had their way with Glen Rock, as you would expect, stepping down in conference. Still, it was a good test, and you get a good feel for what the Jackson Broncs are going to bring to the table and put on the gridiron this season. And it begins with their quarterback. I am really interested in this kid, a big arm, big quarterback. Grant Johnson, the junior, coach's son, full disclosure, 6'1", 185. He's got a big arm. He can get the ball downfield. He looked very accurate when given time. He has good field vision. I like Grant Johnson, and he has got some choices on the outside. Speed galore for this team. I know last year we had Seb Brunner, and I'll never forget what Seb Brunner brought with his speed and his electric playmaking ability. But I'll tell you one kid that's going to make you maybe forget about him real quick, and that's a guy wearing his same number, Tyson Kendall. He is going to look a lot like Seb Brunner. You watch. You're going to blink twice and say, is that Seb come back to play high school football? Tyson Kendall is a speedy wideout. He's going to make plays. He's joined by Liam Logan on the outside, and then Waylon Cosby in the backfield. Jackson may be able to run the ball really well, and they've been looking for a running back since Brody Hasenek graduated out of the program. All of it's going to come together behind this big O-line, this big and talented and experienced offensive line. But Coach Johnson talked about his assets, and it begins with speed.
So run-pass mix, think of it as 55-45 run-pass. In terms of our skill guys, we've got Liam Logan and Tyson Kendall, both who are, super speedy. At running back, we've got Waylon Cosby, who is the fastest kid in the school, as far as I know. We've got Manny Carrillo. We've got Yeshua Flores. So if you just think of those 5 guys as a starting place, we have tons of team speed. And that would be, if I were to rank order our strengths, number 1 would be our line, number 2 would be our team speed. And I think when we start to get some more experience together, which these kids have had, they've done 7-on-7 tournaments together throughout the summer. They've been repping and just sort of, passing the ball around basically since April. I actually think the team has gelled really nicely, and they feel very confident that they can compete, even though they're young.
Jackson looked really good against Glen Rock. How are they going to match up against Douglas, a team that we said has been historically aggressive defensively? I mean, just 11 to the ball, as you heard Coach Hodges say. Here's the game plan, and here's what we know about Douglas. No game film on them. How do you study this team? Coach Johnson had this to say about his opponents tonight.
Yeah, so they play a lot of too high. They like to keep everything in front of them. They're very physical. They're very strong. They're very fast. And, their head coach moved on to be their athletic director. So he's not so far away. And they know how to compete against us. They've always given us a tough game. And we would expect nothing less out of those guys. It'll be interesting. It seems like a fair fight, youth on youth here a little bit. And new coaching staff against new coaching staff. So I'm actually super excited to see how we do against them. And it's exactly as you said. We're not sure where we sit in 3A, and they haven't had a football team on the field yet.
I mean, nobody knows anything. Coach Hodges wondering what he has with his Bearcats. Coach Johnson wondering how his Broncs are going to respond against a 3A team here at home. There's a lot to be answered, but 3.5 hours from now, we'll have a lot more answers, and the picture will get a lot clearer. We'll come back and we'll drill down on this series, tell you about the all-time matchup players to watch, and we'll take a look at the keys to the game. That's all coming up on the Broncs pregame show on Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
Texting and driving. Texting and driving? Everyone knows there really is no and. You're either texting or you're driving. In other words, if you're typing or reading anything while you're behind the wheel, you're not paying attention and you're not in control of your vehicle. That's why law enforcement around the state is cracking down on distracted driving. Hey, Wyoming, let's put an end to texting and driving, because we all know better. There is no and. This message was paid for by WYDOT.
To the live action on KZ95, here's Jake Nichols.
We're back at the MAC awaiting kickoff, just minutes away. These two teams are obviously far apart. When you look at the state logistically, this is a long road trip for whoever has to get on the bus. It's Douglas's turn this time, but boy, it's not fun. This is 7 hours by bus. Jackson made the trip last year and got beat by the Bearcats. The final in that one was 30. Let me see. 30 to, and I lost my notes. 35-19. Jackson lost the game last year in Douglas. If you go 2 years ago, Douglas came here and it was blistering hot. It was in the 90s. by the thermometer and maybe triple digits down there on the synthetic. It's another hot one today. Temperature at kickoff is going to be in the low 80s and down on the field, maybe approaching 90. It's certainly, but it's a beautiful day. Picture perfect day here in Jackson. The all-time matchup between these two teams, Jackson's won 4 of the 9 matchups going back in history. Keys to the game, well, here's what I got for you. Number 1, neutralize number 42, and that's the Bearcats, number 42. Carter Archuleta is just an absolute beast. And when he's playing defense as a middle linebacker, you just got to run away from him. I don't even care if you want to double team block him. Don't even try. Get away from 42. Archuleta is something. And when he runs out of the backfield, he's also difficult to bring down. 220-pound athlete. It's all about 42 when it comes to the Jackson Bronx. And let's take a quick look down live on the field as the Jackson Bronx coming out on the field with their flag as they move towards midfield. Kimmy K's got all the action for you. Those are your new black and orange 2024 Bronx. Exciting. Fans starting to trickle in here at the MAC. Other keys to the game, lengthen the field. I think what Jackson did well against Glen Rock last week was go deep. Even if you don't hit it, you've got to throw deep and loosen up this Douglas defense. They are going to stack the box if you don't make the Bearcats fear the long ball. So every once in a while, you got to let it rip. And Jackson's got a quarterback with an arm that can do that. Lengthen the field, do it early and often. And then finally, get a jump on this team. Douglas has made a long 7-hour trip. They're going to have road legs, bus legs, as they say. Douglas also doesn't know what they don't know. I mean, they have no idea what they've got. It's a bunch of juniors. A lot of these kids are playing in their first varsity game ever. They did not play last week. The Bearcats typically have a week 0 super scrimmage. They did not. So this is their first competition. My suggestion for Coach Johnson and the Bronx is jump on this team early and don't give them any life. Those are our keys to the game. We'll come back, and we are ready to kick this one off right here in Jackson Hole. We're live at the MAC. Football next on the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
Hey Bronx fans, do you want the best security for your home or business? Well, call the local experts today at Mountain Alarm, a proud part of Pye Barker Fire and Safety. Mountain Alarm provides world-class fire, security, life safety, and surveillance, teamed with unmatched customer service and the highest-rated 24/7 monitoring. With our state-of-the-art systems, you can get text or email alerts in the event of an alarm or view live and recorded video on your smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can also remotely control your thermostats, lights, locks, garage doors, and so much more. Call 307-733-5844 or visit mountainalarm.com today to get a free assessment and no obligation quote on a new or upgraded system for your home or business.
Coverage of the Jackson Bronx.
Back to the action as we get underway with the singing of the national anthem. Let's drop into the field and take in the sights and sounds from the MAC.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
ready to play football. How about you, Kimmy K?
I'm ready for some football.
Let's do it. We'll paint the picture for you. If you're joining us on radio on KZ95, KZ95.live, you're getting audio only. That's cool if you want to do it that way. 95.3 FM, KZ95. You want to join us and see the moving pictures? Come on into the modern age. Just open your YouTube app and go to Jackson Hole Radio. That's the channel, Jackson Hole Radio. And when you go there, if there's a game playing, you're going to hit right to it. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe, and you'll see all the action. You won't miss a thing, and you'll see what we're seeing, which is Douglas on the far sidelines in the blazing sun wearing their road whites trimmed in orange. And your Jackson Bronx wearing the black and orange right here in front of us down to the near sidelines. They're wearing their home colors. So I'm excited to get this one going as both teams come out to midfield for the coin toss. And I don't know, Kimmy, if you win the toss, I know the NFL, the current theory is you defer because you want to kick off, see what you got on defense. You like to go hit somebody on defense. But do you want to see if you're right? You want to jump on these guys and get the kick? What do you want to do?
I mean, I guess I'm not a football coach, but I want the ball. I want to score right away.
You want the ball. You're offensive-minded. Well, I mean, certainly it depends on the coin toss, which we haven't had yet. But out there are the team captains. And it looks like we'll get a look at number 44. That's I gotta remember to say his name right. Pape. Yes, Colin Pape is out there, along with Christian Mendoza. The speedy running back Waylon Cosby. Wait till you get a load of this kid. He can fly. Also see Jack Barazay out there. He's a longtime Jackson Bronc and one of those solid leadership guys on the O-line, and he'll play defense as well. Those guys, this offensive line, Kimmy, we were talking earlier before you joined us. The offensive line is where the experience is in these Jackson Broncs. New quarterback, new running back, new wide receivers. But the O-line is experienced and has some leadership. And if it's any indication, last week that offensive line gave Grant Johnson tons of time to throw the ball. And I really like this quarterback Johnson. When he has time, he's got good field vision, good accuracy, and a strong arm. So both teams square off. You can see if you're watching that the Jackson Broncs have deferred. I believe they won the toss. They don't want the kick. So they will kick off to the Douglas Bearcats. Jackson moving left to right on your radio screen. I don't need to tell you that on YouTube. You can see that, and both teams head to the sidelines and get ready. Well, special teams always important. Certainly turnovers when you play early in the season. There's a lot of jitters, a lot of nerves. You got to hang on to that football, Kimmy. When you're nervous, that's not easy.
Nope. It's just like the first week of school. You just got to go with the flow, see what happens every day. So.
Yeah. Well, we got a good little cheering section right there in front of us where I've put our outdoor mics. So we're going to hear a lot of the kids, and they look like hometowners, so that's good news.
And there you have orange and black.
I think a lot of the Douglas fans who have made the trip, and that's a long trip, 7 hours by bus. By the way, I talked to the bus driver. They did not come over Togety Pass. Togety Pass opened this morning at 7, following a pilot car. So it would have been slow. They didn't even try. Yeah, they went Farson way. They had an ice cream in Farson, and then they left at 7 a.m. A long day for these Bearcat kids. I feel for them. That's a long trip. It's not easy. Jackson has done the same. These two cross-state rivals are far, far apart. And I guess by Wyoming standards, 7 hours is kind of average. Back to receive for the Bearcats. You're looking at Jarrett Jones, the junior, on the near side. Far side, I'm still trying to pick up a number on that kid. And to kick off, the Jackson kicker this season. What's the matter?
Do you got a longer handle for that?
No, I don't have a longer handle.
Okay.
The Jackson kicker, I believe, is Vicente Villasana, if it's the same kicker they were using last week, and I think it is. Villasana looks ready. The Bronx look ready, and here's the kick. The 24th season officially underway. It's at the far side, taken at the 12-yard line, and running up the right sidelines. Got a little room for, knocked out of bounds. That's number 18, I believe. Does that look like an 18 to you, Hunter Hansel? I'm guessing. The Bearcats start in very good field position here on the opening kickoff. But a good run back on that right side. So Douglas takes over at their own 40-yard line to begin this game. And some things never change, Kimmy. I'm not sure if I've got replay working or not.
Oh, boy.
I swear, I thought I did, and then I'm not sure. So here's Douglas as they set up offensively. Colin Roberts doing the quarterbacking, the junior quarterback. In the backfield with him, I believe, is Brennan Sullivan. There's the handoff, and it's straight up the middle. That's not Sullivan, by the way. A little bit of room there. Pickup of maybe 3 on the carry, and that's Carter Archuleta, the fullback. Sullivan is more the halfback. Carter Archuleta more the fullback. And we said Archuleta is tough to bring down. He's 5'9", 220. He's like a bowling ball.
Yeah, he looks solid. I mean, I heard you on the radio on my way over talking about 42, so I already knew to watch out for him.
So a good job by Jackson to identify him and stuff him. Tate Wiley is playing middle linebacker. He'll trade that middle linebacker spot with some other players, but this linebacking core for the Bronx, I think, is pretty good, pretty mobile. 2nd and 7. As Douglas lines it up. In the backfield again is Archuleta along with Sullivan. Fake to Archuleta, pass to Sullivan, right side. He's met immediately, brought down short of the sticks. And a good tackle on that far side. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, maybe a yard or 2. And Douglas wants to go no huddle here to work things quickly. 3rd and a yard and a half. Bearcats going to go and watch for Archuleta here. This is his kind of down. And now a timeout taken. No, a flag. There might have been movement, or maybe, well, I'm not sure. I didn't see any movement. We'll see what the flag is about. But you would have to think it's on the Bearcats. It was before the snap.
It is on the Bronx.
I can't imagine what they did. Except maybe line up in the neutral zone? I didn't.
I know. I was trying to listen, but I couldn't
have no
hear.
idea. So Jackson shoots themselves in the foot there. They hand Douglas the first down on the penalty, which I still don't know what it was. 1st and 10 from the Bronx, 46-yard line. Bearcats threatening now in Jackson territory. In motion is Cash Tillard. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper. Roberts, not a whole lot of room there. As he's brought down by Berzay and company. A pickup of 3, and it'll be pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. For Douglas, just underway, 10 minutes to play in the first, no score in the season opener here for both teams. Jackson played a week 0 game last week, but a lot of folks don't count that as anything more than preseason as Roberts sets up in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Archuleta in the backfield. Back to throw is Roberts. Has time, fires over the middle, got him in. Oh, my! On a big hit, Tyson Kendall lowered the boom, and he's going to get flagged. And my.
Can I see that again?
That was Owen Meyer, I believe, that took the hit. What a hit on Kendall, and they're going to whistle him for, personal foul, roughness. But, man, as a coach, you take that hit anytime. And I thought it was clean. Kendall hit him all shoulder. He had his head out of the way, led shoulder, but it was an exposed receiver. And what a shot. But the good news is Owen Meyer is okay. That's Meyer in motion. Roberts is going to keep the ball here, and he is dragged down. A pickup of 3. In on the tackle was Connor Scott. And that might have been a busted play. It looked like Roberts wanted to hand that ball off and then didn't have anybody to hand it to. That might have been Cash Tillard who took that shot rather than Owen Meyer. I'm not sure, but what a hit by Tyson Kendall playing that right cornerback spot. Here comes Douglas again, breaking the huddle. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball in the far right hash. Archuleta and Sullivan in the backfield. Pitch to Archuleta. He's met immediately behind
All right. That was nice.
The first man to hit him was Noah Zelaznek. And I'm probably butchering his name. Zelaznek, the 6'1", 195-pound junior, was the first one there. He wasn't able to bring him down by himself, but he held things up until his teammates arrived. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for Douglas. Make it 3rd and 8. I might be a little bit off with my, I might need a preseason warm-up as well. In motion is Owen Myers. Rolling right is Roberts. Got a man, throws, caught, and that's right at the first down marker. Is it a catch, though? Let's take a look, and I think they'll say yes.
Yep, first
Looked like
down.
it might have been a trap for a minute there, but a good job by Colin Roberts to roll to his right, threw well on the run, and was able to hit his receiver for a first down. So the Bearcats on the move here in their first possession, as the Jackson Bronx defense trying to stiffen here in the red zone. Ball at the Bronx 18-yard line. Archuleta just to the left hip of Colin Roberts, the quarterback. Puts a man in motion. That's Myers. And the snap. Roberts running for his life here. Is going to tuck it and go. And he's tough to bring down. He picks up 5. And now a late flag. We'll have to see what that is. But a good job by Colin Roberts. He's 6'1", 185, so he's not going to go down very easily. We'll see what the flag is about here. Pickup of about 6 on the play. Kimmy, you're the spotter. It's your job to keep an eye on these refs and tell me what these penalties are, because they always seem mysterious to me.
You do know it's the first week of school. My eyes don't work as well.
I know. Also, if you spot the guy who made the tackle, just shout out the number, please.
I will do that too, but remember, it's the first week of school. My eyes don't work so well.
I hear you. The Zebras are huddled there, and they're talking about something, so they're not sure which way to march this one off. Maybe they pick it up. I don't know. We're still waiting to see what that flag is about. Bearcats on the move here, putting together a bit of a drive as they're in the red zone here. They're going to march this off against the Bronx. This flag came late, so you'd have to think maybe a late hit. I don't know. That's going to give the Bearcats a first down. The ball at the Jackson 7. So the Bronx are going to have to really stiffen up here. Goal line stand. Jackson Bronx will try to keep the Bearcats out of the end zone. Brennan Sullivan to the backfield along with Archuleta. Sullivan leads the way. Archuleta is behind him. You'd have to think the bruising fullback, number 42, Archuleta, is going to get the carry here. We'll see if the Bronx try to stack the middle. It looks like Jackson is just packed. Everybody's just tight. Bunch formation. This is going to be old smash mouth football here. Roberts under center. Gets the snap. Gives to Archuleta. Looking right side. Archuleta's in. And he's a lot to bring down. So Carter Archuleta, the guy we said in the pregame was going to be trouble for Jackson to handle. He's been trouble for 3 years now, going into his 4th. Has just scored a touchdown, a 7-yard run to put the Bearcats up 6-0 with the extra point on the way. Kick coming from 21. I don't have a 21, so yeah, we'll have to figure that out. And it's no good. So we'll see if that factors into play later. The score here with 7:11 to play in the first is the Douglas Bearcats 6, Jackson Bronx nothing. Kimmy, what do you think? I mean, there were no big plays, no chunk plays from Douglas, which I like. Coaches like that. But it was a slow, methodical drive. Jackson hurt themselves with 2 key penalties.
Yeah, no, 3.
3.
Had 3 penalties there, yeah. I think we could have held them without those penalties.
Yeah, you can't survive it. You know, early season turnovers and penalties are what coaches stress. You just can't do it. Penalties cost the Bronx there. Cosby back to receive, and he's on the near hash here, bottom of your screen. And Manny Carrillo, the 5'6", 127-pound juniors on the far side. Watch the speed of Cosby, and watch if Douglas has seen any tape on Jackson, has done any scouting. You just don't kick it to Cosby, number 18. I would not. if I'm Douglas, kick it to Cosby. He's got blazing speed. Coach Johnson said he might be the fastest kid in the high school. Let's keep an eye on this kick. Douglas up 6-0, ball teed up, and we're ready to go as the black and orange gets their hands on the football for the first time tonight. Short kick, really short, going to be fielded at the 23-yard line and taken out to about the 34, 35-yard line. I'm not sure who the up back was there.
I didn't see numbers.
On that return, I wanted to say Anthony Vasquez. It looked like 24, but I couldn't really tell. It might have been Chase Brunner, actually. I'm not sure, but we'll get our first look now at the 2024 Jackson Bronc offense, led by junior quarterback Grant Johnson. He's got speedy wideouts, Tyson Kendall, Liam Logan. He's got a really good tight end in Colin Pape. And Waylon Cosby out of the backfield. He's a real threat with his speed. There's a snap, and they give this to Cosby. Looking left side, there's nothing there. He is swarmed under, might have lost a yard on the play. Leading the charge for Douglas was Kyler Dowse, the junior linebacker. And the first play from scrimmage goes nowhere for Jackson. Ball at the 36-yard line of the Bronx. They trail by a touchdown. They send Liam McPeak wide to the right. Two receivers left and two right. Back to throw is Johnson. He's harassed early, gets one off, and it's incomplete and a flag down, and that might have been pass interference intended for Pape, the tight end, as Grant Johnson was pressured, something that he did not feel last week. The O-line did a great job of keeping Johnson clean, but that time he felt early pressure, got rid of it quickly, but a pass interference call for Douglas gives Jackson a first down. The ball out to the 45-yard line. Tough break for Douglas because they had that play defended well. And that was close. That was bang, bang. Ball defender. Actually, the ball is in Douglas territory at the 49, and the shotgun is Johnson. The give is to Cosby. Shakes off one tackle. Another tackle is fine. They brought down. They picked up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Jackson. They're in Bearcat territory right now. Both these teams looking identical. Both teams doing well on their opening drive. Remember, this is early season stuff for both these teams. Bearcats, it's their first game in 24. For Jackson, just their second game in this home opener. Cosby again to the backfield. Roberts, Johnson surveys the situation. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They give it to Cosby again off the left tackle. Archuleta brings him down, but not before he picks up 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Carter Archuleta, the big middle linebacker, was there to shut down Cosby. Big play coming up here as Johnson gets the play, trots back to the huddle. Jackson has huddled the whole time here. There was a time when the Bronx like to go no huddle up tempo, but they've been huddling so far. 3rd and 2, man in motion. That's going to be Kendall. Tyson Kendall on the fly sweep is going to pick up a yard, but he's short of the first down. And a little bit of a clunky exchange on the pitch. Kendall almost bobbled it for a minute and gets a yard, but that's not going to do it. Big decision time here or not. This is really no man's land.
I know.
Jackson's going to go.
Like, it's only a yard. Go for it.
No huddle. Yeah, it's just too short to punt, too long to kick a field goal. They're trying to draw Douglas off sides here, and we'll see if they just end up calling a timeout. I think they will go as Johnson now calls for the snap, and they give to Cosby. Oh, Waylon Cosby has a first down and more as he's inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. And Waylon Cosby made a little bit of a shot there in the middle and got away from his man. Did you see that lateral move? Just sort of that was the hip shake boogie. They're going no huddle here. Little flare out left side. 8. Running room and knocked out of bounds. That's Joshua Flores, the other running back. And Flores, I'll tell you, this kid looks fast on film, and he's not very big. He's 5'6", 140. The sophomore, the Coach Johnson loves him, and he looked really good there. First down inside the 20. Back to throw. Flags fly before the snap. There's going to be motion on Jackson. And again, those penalties hurting the home team.
That'd be our fourth one already.
Tough break for the Bronx. And the motion before the snap is going to cost Jackson a penalty there as they'll set the ball back to the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. The Bronx on the move here. Big running play by Flores just a moment ago, but bigger was that 4th down conversion when Waylon Cosby, I mean, he almost was contacted at the line of scrimmage and just put a kind of hip shimmy on his man and ended up picking up 5 when he needed 2. Here come the Bronx, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In motion is Flores, back to throw, pass complete, and the flag going all the way, touchdown Jackson! It's Liam Logan for the touchdown, Logan! And a harmless-looking pass in the flat goes in. So Jackson has responded, extra point on the way coming from Vincent Villasana. And he can put the Bronx ahead with a conversion here in the PAT. We're knotted at 6. Pending this kick, Jackson has responded. Both teams scoring on their opening possession. This is going to be a fun one. 3:07 left in the first. Oh, and there's some kind of botched snap. So here we are. We're dead tied. Oh, my.
That makes it for a more exciting game.
It sure does. Just over 3 to go in the first. We'll stay right here on the field and recap what we've seen so far. So far, Jackson has not taken any shots down the field like we thought maybe. I thought maybe they should. I thought they should loosen up this Douglas defense. Still, they haven't taken any shots. The pass plays have been quick. Ball out of the hands of Johnson quickly. But it's been the running game. Waylon Cosby and a good run from Joshua Flores moved the Bronx down the field and into the end zone. So is this going to be a day for defense, or are we just going to forget about that and we're going to go 40-40 tonight?
Ooh, I can't say.
Jackson will line it up to kick as the Bearcats take the field to receive this one. And just 9 minutes into this, we got a 6-6 ball game. What a fun game so far. Here are the near side hash to receive for Douglas. That's Jarrett Jones, the far side receiver. I still can't pick up his number. That's who they kicked to last time. Let's see where this kick is going. As Villasana is ready, puts a toe to it, and the kick is going again to that far side hash. And again, if anybody could see a number, please let me know. Another good return, though, similar to the last one. Out across the 25 to the 27, I believe. So identical kickoff returns. This one not quite as far as the opening kick. But Douglas is just taking the ball up that far side hash, and decent return out to the 28-yard line. That's where they're going to spot it, and that's where the Bearcats take over. Jackson was able to bring down big Carter Archuleta on that last drive. Some big third down conversions helped Douglas. Let's see what they do here as Archuleta's in the backfield. Roberts calls for the snap. Oh, it's a bad one, but he tracks it down. Throws and the ball is picked off. Intercepted by Jackson. It's Liam McPeak. Liam McPeak is the man right on the spot as Roberts, I think, was a little bit shaken, the Douglas quarterback. It was a bad snap. And he was a little flustered. And he threw it away right to Liam McPeak, and an early turnover gives Jackson the football in Douglas territory.
Good momentum there.
Huge turn of events as McPeak pulls in the interception, and Jackson goes right back on offense at the Bearcat 35-yard line. as the officials are in preseason mode. They're trying to track the ball down just outside of the 35. Here comes Grant Johnson. Empty backfield as Jackson going to air it out here, certainly spreading it out. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Calling for the snap if Johnson has time, throws near side. He's got Kendall. Kendall's got a whole 3 group of Bearcat defenders around him. They bring him down in on the tackle, which was led by Jarrett Jones. Also was Owen Meyer and Cash Tiller. There wasn't a lot of room there for the speedy receiver to do his work. Tyson Kendall, we know this guy's got jets, but he just didn't have any room to do anything. He picked up a yard. 2nd and 1. We'll see if Jackson goes back to the ground here. Cosby in the backfield. The snap and the give is to Cosby. Whalen looking, got a good block there from Barazay, and he's very near the first down. We'll see. As Henry Dreyer says it's a first down. We'll see if Henry's right. What a big block there from Barazay, though, to open that hole. And Cosby just ran in right behind it. That is a first down. Dreyer should join the officials union because he was right. Ball at the 26-yard line of Douglas. Grant Johnson sets him up. 2 receivers left, 1 right. The handoff is to Cosby again. This time, not a lot of running room, but Waylon Cosby breaks a tackle and ends up picking up about 5, maybe 6 on the play. There to meet him early was, I believe that was Meyer who made the first. It might have been Cash Tiller, but Cosby just broke right away from that. And I know Cosby, the scouting report on Cosby is his speed, but Waylon is no small kid, the senior. He's 6'1", 170, and he's been breaking tackles here. Gives straight ahead. This one's going nowhere as Douglas snuffs it out. This will bring up another crucial 3rd down for the black and orange as Grant Johnson comes to the sidelines, gets some info from the offensive coordinator, and trots back to the huddle. Big 3rd down play here. 3rd and about 2, just under a minute to go in the first. This play will go off as Johnson lines them up. Snap. Johnson wants to throw. He's got Cosby out of the backfield, and that ball's just off the mark. And, Johnson wants that back. He says that's on me. He had Waylon Cosby open out of the backfield. I don't know if Cosby would have been able to turn it upfield in time, but that pass just off the mark, and Johnson knew it. 4th down, and we'll see how much of a gambling mood Johnson's in. I believe it's 4th, right? The far side marker, there's no
there's no number over
down
there.
indication. So, they're going to kick it. It is 4th down. Jackson's going to kick it. Vincent Villasano going to try to put the Bronx up here 9-6. If he can convert, it would be a 36-yarder. The kick is up. It is gone!
Yeah.
And the Jackson Bronx lead this one 9-6 as Villasano drills it from 36 yards out. And the Bronx take their first lead of the game with 37 seconds to go in the first. Well, Johnson's showing a lot of confidence in his young kicker. Villasano did not disappoint. The sophomore, 5'10", 162-pounder. I watched him in pregame. He was hitting from 30 like it wasn't a big problem. That was 36, and he got it. Jackson with a 9-6 lead. Bearcats going to try to rebound after that interception of the last possession. So far, the game's first and only turnover. With the Bearcats' second possession, first snap of that drive, and Colin Roberts was a little bit shaken, I think, by a bad snap and threw the ball right to Liam McPeak for the interception.
I mean, he threw it really fast, too, so he got it off his hands quickly.
He was looking to get rid of it. And, just a rash decision. He'd like to have that back. Villasante ready to kick it off. There it is. And This one is going to go to the near back, finally. So I got a number on this guy. They're going to go right side again. And another big return. This is going to go all the way. Jared Jones all the way down the right sidelines. There are no flags down, and Douglas strikes quickly. The Broncs have an issue on kick return. All 3 kick returns were on that far sidelines, and all 3 were not covered very well by Jackson. Oh, no. Just like that, Douglas jumps back into the lead with a kickoff return of 92 yards out of Jared Jones. The extra point coming. Wow, what a shocker. That quieted the crowd in a hurry. Extra point coming. 12-9 now. This one's important as the kick is up, and it is good. So that makes it a 4-point game. It's 13-9 Douglas, and that smarts. We're still in the first quarter, 23 seconds to play. Jackson enjoyed a lead for about 4 seconds, and it's over.
Well, and I'm going to say after those last 2 plays right there, I think we might have a 40-something score each here.
We might have a high-scoring game. Scoreboard can handle it. That's lit up and brought to you by Big O. Big O Tires, 6-month interest-free, no down payment required financing, OAC. Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on. They're our scoreboard sponsor for the 2024 season. Wow, there's been a lot of action here. You can't stuff more action into a quarter. It's been an exciting 8 minutes, and we're not done yet. As the Broncs get ready to receive, Jackson has to address the kickoff return, and they're going to have to figure this out quickly. I mean, they don't have time to figure it out at halftime. They better get together on the sidelines and find out what's going wrong. 2 back to receive. Cosby on the near side. Far side, that looks like the young Brunner kid, I want to say. Is that number 12?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Can you get eyes on? I'm going to try to... No, I might be wrong there. No, that's 15. That's Manny Carrillo. So it's Carrillo far side on your screen, top of the screen. And down to the near bottom of your screen, that's Waylon Cosby. The kick is going to go to Cosby. Actually, it splits the 2. Cosby's going to try to handle it at the 1-yard line. Waylon looking up the middle. He's got blockers, and he's brought down at the 28-yard line. And to me, that's fortunate, Kimmy.
Yeah, that was a good run back.
Yeah, it was a good. I didn't think Cosby, knew he had to handle the ball. That was not going to go in the end zone. And Waylon says, I'm going to have to return this. And he had 99-yard kick return in his mind. He managed to get up, set up behind his wall of blockers and get out to at least the 29, I believe. Well, they'll set the ball up. Jackson will start this drive with 16 seconds to go in the first. They trail 13-9 here in the early going. Both teams offense clicking right now has been the name of the game. Jackson got to be careful here about committing turnovers deep in their own end. As they line up, Cosby in the backfield. In the pistol formation, taking the snap is Johnson. The give us to Cosby. Had a big hole, but it closed quickly, and you know why it did. Number 42, Carter Archulette. Actually, 62, sorry. I don't want to give Carter all the credit, as that hole was open, and then it wasn't, and that was Devlin Cowan, the 6'1", 220-pound junior who shut down Cosby with just a yard gain, and that'll do it for the quarter. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Jackson Broncs. After 1, it's Douglas 13, Jackson 9. More after this on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
When fire, water, mold, or other damage threatens your home or business, hand the cleanup over to the company that stays with you every step of the way. The trained professionals at ServPro handle everything from commercial water loss to residential handyman services and everything in between. Call ServPro of Jackson Hole at 307-342-1400 anytime, day or night, to schedule an appointment. That number, 307-342-1400 for ServPro.
This is KZ95 with live coverage of the Jackson Broncs.
We're back at the MAC. Second quarter just ready to get underway. We'll switch sides of the field. Jackson now moving right to left.
Oh, I went back too far.
They trail 13-9 here. And the big blow being a Douglas Bearcat return for a touchdown. That was the first time Jackson had kicked to Jarrett Jones. The other kicks went to the other back, Jones. I would circle him if I'm a Jackson Bronc. The 5'11 junior showed some good speed. He ran that ball all the way back on that far right sideline. The second time Jackson's been victimized over there. All three kick returns by the Bearcats have been organized to run up that right sideline. That's a problem for Jackson. They're going to have to fix that. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Broncs as they line up on that far hash, right hash. Waylon Cosby in the backfield to the right hip of Johnson, the quarterback. Claps for the snap, gets it, wants to throw, has plenty of time. Looking, Cox now fires again, and that's off the mark. Intended for Tyson Kendall. Johnson couldn't have asked for more time there, and I think it unnerved him. Sometimes that clock's going off in your head if you're a quarterback, and you think that ball's got to come out.
You want that pressure, and that,
I mean, you don't want pressure, but you got that eternal clock that says, well, I've been back in the pocket for 3 seconds. I got to get rid of this. Kendall was fairly well covered. Johnson didn't see anything downfield, and it'll bring up 3rd and 9 now and a crucial down. Jackson would hate to punt it here deep in their own territory. Let's see if they can get something cooking. I've seen the Broncs run a play where they run Pape over the middle in a crossing pattern. We'll see if they try that. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Johnson wants the snap, gets it, back to throw, pressured, fire, lets it go. He wants it all, and he just overthrows Liam Logan. He had him. Logan had a step on his man, and it was just too far. The pass, Payson Hollingsworth was on the coverage, and I thought Logan had a step on him, but it was just overthrown. I love taking a shot, though. I love it.
I do. Go for it. It was
I
pretty
don't
close.
mind that.
Over there, a little faster. That can connect in the future.
I mean, a 3rd and 9. They were going for it all. I love the gamble. Just didn't pay off there. It'll bring up 4th and 9. Jackson's got a punt. And they will. Let's see the kick. Almost blocked, but this is a beautiful punt. It's muffed briefly. Hollingsworth now looking left side. There's a block in the back, and there's a flag another flag is down as Hollingsworth is all the way out to midfield, but we got 2 flags. One of them was an obvious block of the back early, and I'm not sure what the second flag was, but it's usually on the return team. We'll take a look, but that was another good return by the Bearcats as Hollingsworth went up that left side, and that was about a 25-yard return, but it's all going to come back as we wait on the penalties. Payson Hollingsworth, the man who was on coverage on Logan on that last play that Jackson threw, was on the reception of that punt. And that would have been a good return if not for the Hankies. And they still have the ball out there near midfield, but I think they're going to walk this one way back.
It's got to go all the way back to this flag back here.
I would think so, unless that second flag cancels them both out. And then I guess they would re-kick, but I believe both penalties are going to be on the Bearcats. Jackson could only take one of them. It won't matter. They were probably both clipping, both blocks in the back, and they are going to walk this one all the way back into Bearcat territory. 11:32 to go in a half. Jackson trailed 13-9. Both teams have scored a touchdown with their offense. The difference has been a touchdown on a kick return for the Bearcats. So special teams, we talked about penalties and turnovers are things you want to avoid early in the season because you're not quite in the rhythm. Special teams is another thing that gets exposed early in season, and certainly for Jackson, it's been critical. So the Bearcats take over on their own 16-yard line, deep in their own territory. Archuleta in the backfield, shotgun formation. Roberts puts a man in motion. Roberts going to keep it himself, and he spins away from one tackle, and he's out of to about the 20, a pickup of 3. We'll see where they spot him. He fell at the 21, but I think he was down at the 20. Split the difference, and the referee puts the ball at about the 20 and a half. So 2nd and 7 coming up for the Bearcats. Jackson defense been pretty good. They've been able to bring Archuleta down. We talk about Carter Archuleta, the senior, 5'9", 220. There's nowhere to contact that guy. He's just so compact, and he does not go down easily. He's in the backfield now. Bad snap, but the give is to Archuleta. Archuleta's wrapped up early and brought down. Big play, and Jack Berizet gets up off the pile. No, sorry, it's 22 on the initial contact. Big play, big hit by Matthias Wilson, the linebacker. 6'1", 230, the senior. And he outweighs Archuleta by 10 pounds. He met Carter in the hole and brought him down. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Bearcats. We'll see if they go to the air. Archuleta and Sullivan to the backfield, just to the right. Pistol formation. Roberts calls for the snap. He wants to throw. Rolls right. Got a man. Throws. Caught. And he's brought down just short of the sticks. This is going to be very close. The pass complete.
Oh, they gave it to him.
And they're going to move the sticks.
First
wow.
down.
Cash Tillard, he is their number 1 wide receiver. When Colin Roberts goes back to throw, he's looking for one guy and one guy only, and that's the 5'9", 175-pound senior Tillard. No huddle here as they go to Carter Archuleta. Carter Archuleta on the left side. He's got another first down, a 13-yard rumble before he's brought down, and Archuleta moves the sticks again. The Bearcats on the move. And this no-huddle offense for the Bearcats, you know, it's a hot day. You're trying to tire a defense down. They go no-huddle again. Roberts calls for the snap. We got guys off sides. Did anybody move on Douglas? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a neutral zone infraction on Jackson. We'll see. Yeah, they're going to march it off.
Come on, boys.
On the Bronx, so it'll be 1st and 5 now for Douglas. We'll see if that changes the play call they had in mind. The no huddle and the give to Archuleta, I think, is going to be a problem. Jackson wants to be set and ready to figure out where 42 is. Sullivan and Archuleta to the backfield, and the pistol to Roberts right. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw. Got a man, caught, and knocked out of bounds. That's a first down catch. And a completion, that's Jones, and it's Tate Wiley all the way from his middle linebacker spot to make the stop on that, but not before Jarrett Jones makes the reception. He's the guy who ran that 91-yard kickoff return all the way back. And a first down for Douglas at the Jackson 46-yard line. The give to Archuleta going left side, and Archuleta rumbles for 7. Bringing up about a 2nd and 3. I thought I saw movement before the snap, but no flags down. And Douglas, 2nd and 7, and they're again going to go no huddle. They're trying to quicken the pace here. Not a fortunate spot for Douglas. It's going to be 2nd and 4 or 5, and again there's movement, and that's the same thing that happened on that last play, I'm sure. I'm going to try to...
Okay, try it.
I'm going to try a replay here, and I'm going to show you. Obviously, you saw movement from Roberts, the quarterback, and we got nothing. Doggone it. Well, one of these days I'll figure out how to do replay. Yeah, there was movement by the Bearcats, so essentially we're just going to march that right back and go 3rd. Is it 3rd down now? It should be 2nd down. I wish they had a down marker on the sidelines.
It's 2nd, unless, because you don't get the down
Scoreboard
back.
showing 3rd, but I believe it's 2nd and 10.
No, that's timeouts there, sir. They just have quarter 2. They don't have the downs on the scoreboard either.
Looking to throw is Roberts, rolling to his left. He fires, nobody home.
Good.
I believe the pass, sure who is it intended for, but it's tough throwing on your off body. Roberts is a right-hander. He was rolling left there. That's a hard pass to make. On the coverage, closest was Chase Brunner, and I'm not sure who that was intended for, but that was incomplete and not close. That, we think, brings up 3rd down and 10. but we have no down indications. We're going to have to keep track of that ourselves, Kimmy. That sounds like your job. Archuleta on the backfield behind Roberts. Robert now wants him to move to his right side. 3 receivers. He got trips left and 1 receiver to the right. Here's the snap. Looking left. Throwing. Got a man. He threw it behind him and off the hands. Incomplete. The pass intended for Cash Tillard, but it was thrown behind him and off his hands. Incomplete for Tillard. So that brings up a 4th down, and I believe the punt. No, they're going to send, unless the punter is also the quarterback, they're going to send Roberts right back out there. And I think he is the punter.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah, he is. They're going to have to kick this. Roberts will do the punting. Back to receive for the Bronx. Looks like Cosby, but I'm not sure. No, that's Cash Tillard, I think. Number 1?
No, that's not number 1.
I'm sorry.
It's 5, 7, 9. I can't tell.
I can't tell either. The kick is short. Takes a Bearcats bounce. Yeah, so that is Kendall back to receive. He's not got a chance to touch it. And a really fortunate kick for the Bearcats as that rolls all the way inside the Jackson 5 to about the 3, where the Bronx are going to have a long field here. Just under 8 to play in the half. Jackson trails 13-9 in what has been a very entertaining game. Started off offensive-minded. Now the defense is starting to tighten up, and we got a full crowd here on a beautiful afternoon in Jackson. The black hole has filled out. Plenty of kids there.
Can you guess what the theme is tonight?
No. Beach.
Really? What?
I don't know.
Red, white, and blue flags, stars, the stripes. Come on.
Jackson Bronx begin this drive deep in their own zone. They got to be careful here. Looking to throw is Johnson. He fires. He's got Cosby, but that's no gain. What a big tackle there immediately to make the hit. Looked like number 7, Cash Lenzen, I believe. He was right there. I mean, Kendall, yeah, that was the cornerback, Cash Lenzen, 5'9", 160-pound junior. We got a ton of juniors on the field today. And a good play by Lenzen as Cosby had nowhere to go. 2nd and 10. Jackson on this near hash. Snap to Johnson, the give. It's a draw play to Cosby, and not a lot of room there as he's brought down at the 5. Picked up a couple, but that's still not enough. And the last thing you want to do is have to punt from here. Jackson has got to figure out a 3rd and long solution here. Does Coach Johnson have a play in the playbook that gets him 7 yards? He hopes so. As the Bronx huddle up, the Bearcats would love to get this ball right back. Really what they'd love to do is force a turnover, so you got to be careful with the football down here.
Yeah.
Jackson, you would assume a throwing down. They got Flores in the backfield along with Johnson. He calls for the snap. No, wait a minute. As the timeout, I think that came from the sideline. It is a Jackson timeout, and a good chance to remind you that this timeout is brought to you by Jackson Hole Ford. They'll meet or beat any offer. Their low overhead means you win every time. Best deals in Idaho Falls, Salt Lake. Never mind that. Right here in Jackson Hole Ford, they have over 7 dealerships they can contact, over 40 lender partners they work with. Locally owned means they serve locals. Go see Jackson Hole Ford. This timeout brought to you by Jackson Hole Ford. Jackson calling a timeout. Coach Johnson wants to be absolutely sure about this play call. He's got to be careful with the football, but he's also got to gamble a little bit. They need 7 yards. And Douglas right now pinning their ears back, and they're coming hard. Boy, what do you do if you're the Jackson Bronx? Last time on 3rd and long, they opted to go for a long ball. I don't know if you can afford that here. I think you got to be a little safer, but we'll see. As they set it up with Johnson, has Flores in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to each side. Looking to throw, rolling right, getting rid of the ball. Got a man, it's caught. And it's Liam McPeak. What a big reception. McPeak in the first down, and that was a huge play. You cannot overestimate what a big play that was for Jackson to move the sticks. They're going no huddle here. They got the Bearcats on their heels. They want to seize the opportunity. The snap, looking to throw, near side. Flores out of the backfield, and he dropped it. Incomplete. Joshua Flores had room to run, but the young kid just dropped it with no pressure on him. Throw him another one. He'll be all right. 2nd and 10 now for the Bronx. As Flores is just a sophomore. He's got a ton of speed, and I think he was looking up to see what he was going to do before he secured the football.
Well, he knew as soon as he dropped it. Life's about making mistakes, and you learn from them.
2nd and 10 for the Bronx. Ball at the 22-yard line, their own 22. Jackson, plenty of time. 6:29 to go in the half. They trail it 13-9. Johnson, the snap. Got Flores. Going to give it to him. Flores gets away from one tackler and now bounces it outside, but there's not a lot of room there either, and that's going to be no gain. A good job by Flores to at least get out of initial contact, but he could not find the corner on that far right side. Good pursuit by Douglas. One of the things the Bearcats have done for decades is get to the outside quickly.
Yeah.
And they just do not let you run outside on them. It'll be... Actually, they're going to give Flores a loss of a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and long here for Jackson. 3rd and about 12 for the Bronx. And once again, they needed a big 3rd down play here. There's the snap, looking to throw. Johnson, he's got plenty of time. Looks, wants to fire. Near side, looking for Kendall. And he dropped it. Oh, my. The pass was right on the mark. But give Kendall, he didn't see that ball to the last second, and that's because of the good coverage. Payson Hollingsworth was actually in very good coverage on that play, and he reached up his arm to knock it down. Now, he didn't make contact with the ball, but I think that threw off the sight lines for Kendall, and he just couldn't locate it. The ball bounced right off his chest. Oh, my, a lost opportunity for the Bronx, and they will line up the punt here on 4th and long. Here's the kick. It's short and it's high. We'll see if anybody tries to field it. Gets a Bearcat bounce, actually. Somebody better down that, and they do, at the 36-yard line at Jackson. So that bounced the wrong way.
Yeah, it sure did.
And two unfortunate incidents. The Kendall drop, you can't really blame him. That's a tough play to make when you're that well covered. I think Johnson hung it up a little. It was a little underthrown. Hollingsworth did not make the play, did not knock the ball down, but he disrupted the vision of Tyson Kendall enough that Kendall just couldn't come up with a catch. And then the unfortunate punt that bounced backwards with 5:27 to go. The Bearcats in striking distance already as they take the field with their offense. Ball at the Jackson 37-yard line. Jones split wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Archuleta in the backfield. Man in motion now. That's, I believe, Cash Tillard. He's brought down. Pretty good game. Pickup of about 6. No, that's 8. 8 and 9 looks so similar to me. That's Owen Meyer. Owen Meyer on the carry on the fly sweep, and that's a pretty good pickup. 2nd and 4. A pickup of 6. And the Bearcats on the move here. Douglas showing a lot of different looks. Archuleta's carried the load. Now trips left. 1 receiver to the right. They're trying to spread it out for Archuleta here. Watch him get a carry. No, they're going to throw. A little swing out, and that's Cash Tillard. Tillard's got a 1st down, driven out of bounds at around the 20. But a good pickup of about 9 on the play, and a 1st down for the Bearcats. And that's the play you want to note at halftime if you're Coach Johnson. They go trips to one side, and then they throw that little screen in behind, and they utilize Tillard's speed. They've done that a couple times. 4:44 on the clock, 4:44 to go in the half. 1st and 10, Bearcats just inside the Bronx 20. Archuleta and Sullivan in the backfield. In the shotgun snap pistol, it's Roberts. He gives to Archuleta straight up the middle. He's got a little bit of a hole and then surges ahead for 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. Archuleta so difficult to bring down, and an injury on the field for the Jackson Bronx.
He's getting up.
And getting up, it looks like 65 maybe? No, I don't have a
66.
Okay. That's Aiden Kim Miller, the senior, and he's the guy they need. The 6'2", 225-pound senior is limping on that left ankle. That looks like a tape job. That's a job for the trainer. Get that kid
get
taped
that over
up
there.
and get him back out there. We need Aiden Kim Miller. Meanwhile, 2nd and 5 coming up for Douglas. Scoreboard showing 2nd and 6. They finally got that working, so that's good news.
2nd and 4. Where do you see 6?
2nd and 4. A long 4 or a short 5 as Kim Miller is getting help coming off the field here. Ginger on that ankle. Looks to be the left ankle. We hope we can get him back in the ball game as he gets a good hand. This hometown crowd has packed it in here. The Black Hole going nuts as they want their Jackson Bronx to make a stand here. The Bronx really have to make a hold and hopefully get the football back and get back into the lead. But first things first, this defense got to hold strong. Archuleta in the backfield with Sullivan. Sullivan's had just the one carry this afternoon. It's been pretty much Carter Archuleta. Fake to Archuleta. Roberts going to keep left side. Dancing behind a block. Oh, and he is contacted big time at about the 1 yard line, but not before he's got plenty for a first down. He did not get out of bounds, and I didn't see who came up and made that hit, but that was a smack. And Roberts very close to the goal line. He's out at the 1 yard line, 1st and goal to go. And I don't know, boy, this is a tough ask for the Jackson Bronx to hold here. You got 4 downs to punch it through, and you got number 42, Carter Archuleta. And guess who's on the field? It's Archuleta in the backfield. In front of him is Brenda Sullivan. They're in the I formation. Right under center is Roberts, the quarterback. They give second man through. It's Archuleta, and it's easy as he walks in untouched, basically. Touchdown for Archuleta, and Douglas adding to their lead. 19-9 currently, waiting on the PAT here. Coming off the foot of the unknown 21. I was told the kicker for this team was Douglas. They might have been faking me out. Douglas Omana. Bearcats, are they thinking about? I mean, there's no reason here for
to go for a 2.
No, not
maybe
mathematically.
They're just psyching us out.
No reason mathematically to go for 2. Another timeout opportunity by the Bearcats allows us to mention Jackson Hole Ford. Go put Dusty, the general sales manager, to work. He'll make the deal every time. Dusty, along with Louie, the friendliest greeting manager in Jackson. It's all part of Jackson Hole Ford sponsoring this timeout with the Douglas Bearcats, as they're going to think twice on this PAT. What do they want to do? Looks like they're still going to kick it. Maybe they didn't have the right personnel out. That happens a lot early in the season. We're going to say this is Douglas Umana wearing a different number, but I'm really not sure who 21 is. I don't have him on my list. I talked to the guys over there at the Douglas broadcast booth. I don't know who it is either. The kick is good. And whoever he is, he's just put the Bearcats on top now. 20-9 with 3:37 to go in the half. So, well, this one took a turn, Kimmy. It was back and forth. It was a one-score game, and that kickoff return for a touchdown was dead. It just seemed to take the air out of the Bronx, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
And then it didn't help that we had 2 drop passes that kind of lost the momentum there a little bit.
A little bit of penalties, but that kickoff return, I mean, those things, those special teams gaffes, just take the air out of you. You work so hard in a multi-play drive to move the ball down the field and punch it in, and then in 4 seconds it's all gone.
I know.
As Jarrett Schultz just ran it down the field and had a 90-plus yard touchdown return, and just like that, Jackson's lead was gone, and they've never recovered emotionally.
That's right, they're going to regroup and refocus at halftime. It's not that, plenty of time.
Here's the kick. It's going to be short. It'll be taken at the 8-yard line, straight up the middle.
Oops. And
getting away from his blocking there out to the 20. Trying to see who that was. And that was Cash Lenzen. I'm sorry, Lenzen is their guy. Garrett Seals is number 7. Help me remember that. So Seals, he kind of got lost. He couldn't identify his blocking wall there, and he was on his own. There was nothing but Bearcats. He did get it out just across the 20, so that's where Jackson will start. 80 yards to pay dirt, 3.5 minutes to do it. What can the Bronx do? As they send 2 receivers to the left. Now in motion is Kendall. He'll go to the right side. In the shotgun is Johnson. He claps for the snap, gets it. Fly sweep to Kendall. He's coming right here near side into your screen, and Carter Archuleta trips him up along with help from number 22, Cody Hessler. And Kendall picks up just a couple. Jackson going no huddle here, 2nd and 8. Jackson loves that fly sweep to Kendall, but it has not worked tonight, not yet. Man in motion is Cosby. Snap, fake to him, throwing near side. Got a man, Leon Logan. Not a lot of room, but look at him dancing away from tacklers, but just swarmed down. Yeah, it was Archuleta who put the smackdown on him after a pickup of a couple out to the 25, 3rd and 5. Coming up for the Bronx. Logan made the most out of nothing there. And Jackson going again, no huddle as they try to hurry up. Clock is their enemy. 2.5 minutes to go. In motion is Seals. Back to throw is Johnson. He's got time. Got a man. Pape off his hands. And you got to have that. I know it was hot. Johnson had a little bit of heat on that, and it was a little bit high, but Colin Pape right through his hands. He's got to come down with that ball. That's going to bring up 4th down and another big decision. We'll see if Johnson wants to take a timeout here and talk about it, but I think you've got to kick it.
Yeah, I do too. You still got 2.5 minutes almost.
4th and 5. 2:26 to go. Your punting has not looked great, honestly. And you're reluctant to give the ball right back to Douglas, but boy, if you don't make this 4th and 5, you give it to the Bearcats deep in Jackson territory. I mean, the numbers say you got to kick it and hopefully field this one well. Maybe you get a turnover, a muff punt, and maybe that's what they're talking about now. Being aggressive on this punt coverage, maybe force a turnover.
Maybe you don't do what they're expecting you to do.
Jarrett Jones, far side hash, top of your screen. Bottom of your screen is Hollingsworth. They're back to receive, standing at their own 30-yard line. Now they're going to move up as they get direction from the sideline saying, he's not going to be able to kick it that far. We'll see where they want to stand. Yeah, they're going to come up as Jackson gets ready to punt here. Back to punt for the Bronx is Alexi Balog. Balog, the sophomore.
Oh, what just happened?
And now we get another timeout, this one on Jackson. So, yeah, maybe Coach Johnson wanted to see something. I don't know, but they want to talk about something again. It's another timeout. And another chance to mention Jackson Hole Ford. Let Jackson Hole Ford find the perfect used vehicle, whether you're looking for the Canyon Runner, the luxury family transportation, or that sporty weekend cruiser. They'll search out their 6 dealerships. They can even go nationwide to find exactly what you're looking for, the model, the color, the year. Give them a chance, Jackson Hole Ford, your local Ford dealer.
All right. We actually going to do it this time?
All right, we're out of the timeout. Yeah, let's see if we can get a punt here. As Jarrett Jones is going to be the sole man back to receive. He's standing at his own 40-yard line as Balog gets ready to put a total. No, Jackson's going. I'm sorry. The Bronx are going to go for it after that timeout, and that confused Douglas. They're not ready.
Yes.
Douglas is not in the right formation, and now they're going to punt. Roberts is going to punt it. The quarterback, and it gets a friendly Jackson roll. And this is going to be the best thing the Bronx could have hoped for, as it's down by Leon Logan at the 32-yard line. That was crazy. Jackson lined up like they were going to go. Maybe they were. It confused the Bearcats.
I know, it did look a little bit. That was smart, actually. I told you, do something that's not expected.
Woo!
Whether that was expected or
Grant Johnson, who is not their punter, Balog ended up punting at the quarterback. He was not back behind the line of scrimmage very far. That kick was almost blocked by his own guys. But he got it off. He got a friendly roll. And the Bearcats now with the ball with 2:15 to go. Their own 35-yard line. See if Jackson defense can come up big here. The Bronx can ill afford another score. Archuleta in the backfield to the left hip of Colin Roberts. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Roberts wants to throw, and it's incomplete. They were looking for that Cash Tillard play. That's the play. That pass was off the mark. I'm not sure what went wrong there, as Tillard was nowhere near where the ball was thrown. That was odd, but Douglas has run that play with success. Anytime the Bearcats run trips to one side, it's been Tillard making that catch and then using the other 2 receivers to block for him. 2nd and 10. And again, they go trips left with 1 receiver to the right, Archuleta in the backfield. I'm a little surprised Douglas isn't trying to run the ball here. Roberts rolling to his left. Throws. That's over the head of Myers. Incomplete. And right now, Douglas is doing exactly what Jackson wants. 2 incompletions, and that clock does not roll. 2:06 to go. Pass intended for Owen Meyer, the 5'11 junior, and it was over his head. And I'm just surprised Douglas isn't trying to run with a big back Archuleta, number 1, and you also want to move that clock. Right now, they're doing Jackson a favor. 3rd and 10. Colin Roberts, the snap. He's looking to throw. Hits Archuleta. Swing pass out of the backfield. Jackson stacks him up short of the first down. And I don't know he got out of bounds to stop the clock. He did. And that's short of a first down, and Douglas, are they going to gamble? Yes, they are. They go no huddle. Jackson needs to make a stop here. 4th and 3.
Let's go D.
Archuleta in the backfield. Roberts is not sure about the play. Now he's going to go way back. They're going to throw here. No, they're going to punt. And they do the same thing Jackson did, as the punt is a good one. It's going to take a Bearcat roll. This is going to go to the Jackson 15-yard line before it's down. Same thing we just saw Jackson do.
Wow.
Colin Roberts kicks a 4th and 3. He acts like he's going to take a snap and do something, but when he dropped way back, that should have been the clue that they were going to kick it, and he did. Jackson had nobody back to field it. I don't know it would have mattered. It gets a Bearcat roll, and if you're the Bronx, you got to be very careful here. 1:48, and you got a long field. I mean, I know you want to do something exciting and close out the half, but you got to be very, very careful. Bronx with the ball, and they're going to spot it at their own 15-yard line, so in the shadow of their own goalposts. Timeout. Wiley wants a timeout. The center. And I think Jackson doesn't have the right personnel. They don't have enough guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they don't have near enough guys. I think they had 10 on the field. Wiley is the center. His dad's one of the coaches. So Tate Wiley recognized that immediately. He was upset. He said, we don't have the right players out here. And he had to call the timeout. That's the last timeout for the Bronx. So with 1:48 and a long field, there's really not much Jackson can do unless they manage to hit a big play here. Heads up by Wiley to call that TO. This timeout brought to you by Jackson Hole Ford, your local dealership run by locals, serving locals. Jackson Hole Ford sponsoring this timeout as the orange and black heads back onto the field, and it's going to be Cosby in the backfield along with Grant Johnson. 3 receivers to the right include Kendall, Logan, and it looks like McPeak over there. 1 receiver to the left, back to throw. Johnson wants something over the middle. The pass is caught and brought down, a big gain of 15. As that's complete. And it looked like, yes, Colin Pape on the reception. I told that's that play of Pape crossing over the middle that I've seen them run before. Back to throw again. Johnson, he's one. Ball's up in the air too long. It's intercepted by Justin Jarrett, rather. Jarrett's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that was not a good pass. Johnson just hung that one out to dry, and the interception is made. And that was easy. Jared Jones comes down with a pick. And the Bronx have turned the ball over now for the first time. Both teams now with an interception. And the Bearcats get it right back at their own 40 with 1:27 to go. Douglas has, I believe, all 3 timeouts. I find that hard to believe. I thought they had 2. Scoreboard showing Douglas has 3 timeouts and 60 yards to go. So this is doable. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Now man in motion is Meyer. Meyer fake handoff. It's going to be a keeper. Colin Roberts got a big hole, and he picks up 11 before he's brought down by Kendall. Wait a minute, the ball's on the ground. Jackson says they recovered. Waiting to get a signal here as the ball is loose. The Bronx say they recovered. Have they? Still no indication.
Still no indication.
I didn't see it.
What to do. Oh, they're talking.
The officials are trying to figure out if anybody's. Jackson has the football. Oh, Jackson Bronx with a fumble recovery. Colin Roberts, the quarterback, with an 11-yard gain, and then he coughed it up. Tyson Kendall was among many there for the Bronx, and they made him, separated him from the football. Jackson takes over at their own 49-yard line. And Grant Johnson is going to get a second life here, a reprieve after the interception. Let's see if he can do anything. It's an empty backfield for the Bronx. Everybody out of wide receiver. Man in motion is Cosby. The flip to him. Flea flicker. And that's not going to work. Jackson ran that play against Glen Rock where Cosby flips it to Kendall. Kendall flips it back to the quarterback. It worked beautifully in Glen Rock against Glen Rock.
They watched the film, so come on.
It didn't work there. And Douglas might have seen that on film. They said, no, sir. That's a huge loss. And now if you're Jackson, you just want to burn clock. 50 seconds to go.
Darn it,
this
go
is
one big last play.
No, this is going to be a running play, girl.
Playing it safe, all right.
This is going to be a running play. Cosby is going to get the ball, and Douglas knows that you just can't throw one here. Second and forever. Oh, well, I'm wrong. Cosby going to throw, and that was almost dangerous. Intended for Logan, and the speedy Jarrett almost picked that off. Jared Jones almost stepped into that one. Intended for Logan, but boy, that was scary, and that stops the clock at 31 seconds, and those are 2 reasons why I run the ball there. You stop the clock on an incompletion, and boy, that was a pick 6 that almost happened.
Almost is not happening.
Yeah, you got to run it here. Come on.
I don't know.
3rd and very long for the Bronx. Shotgun formation. Cosby in the backfield. He will get the carry. Looking right side. Not a lot of room there, but Jackson's not looking for much. You just want Whalen to hang on to the ball. And there's indications he may have fumbled.
Oh, no.
Douglas says they have it. If it's true, it'd be at the 39-yard line. No. And false indication by the Bearcats.
There's only a couple of them telling us, unlike Jackson doing all of them.
So 4th and about 20. 4th and 25, the scoreboard showing. So Jackson obviously going to punt this. Jackson has had trouble covering kicks and punts to some degree. We'll see if Alexi Blog is on to do the kicking. You got to keep an eye on the return man, Jarrett Jones, who has already returned a kick for the distance. Jones has got some speed, 24 seconds to go. So all you need here is a decent punt, maybe keep it out of the hands of Jones. In fact, it's not going to be Jones back to receive, so Owen Meyer will do the chore there. Surprised it's not Tillard or Jones. It's going to be Owen Meyer, I believe. Back to receive, standing at his own 32-yard line. Backs up further now to the 30. As Alexi Blog ready to kick. Jones is still backing up to his 23. I don't know if Alexi's going to kick it that far. Here's the kick. It's a good one. It's fielded at the 32 by Meyer. He's contacted. They can't bring him down. He turns the corner. corner. There's a block in the back. This one's coming back as Jones is knocked out of bounds at the Bronx 40, but that's a block in the back. And it was on number 32 was the victim. Rigdon Hammond was blocked in the back, and this is going to come back the second time that the Bearcats have given us a scare. Oh, my. As Meyer got around the corner on this near side and was heading down the sidelines. That was a scary moment for the Jackson fans, but that block on Rigdon was obviously a block in the back on Hammond. He got hit from behind. The 6'2", 200-pound junior had a bead on Meyer, but all of a sudden he was blocked out of the play. So Douglas just going to take a knee here with 9 seconds. Ball at their own 27, 28-yard line. And I would imagine they're just going to sit on this one, although Roberts is not coming up under center. We'll see if he wants to just run around a little and then take a knee. Fake to Archuleta. No, they do give to Archuleta. He's brought down, and that should do it. Good job stopping Carter Archuleta there. Barasay on the tackle. No gain, maybe a yard, and that'll do it. We're at the half here at William T. McIntosh Stadium with a score. Douglas 20, Jackson 9. The Bronx get a big send-off from the home crowd, and they should. Jackson has looked good. And it's a case of coulda be, shoulda be, but unfortunately it isn't. They're down 11, but that's certainly within striking distance. We'll come back with a halftime show after these words. You're enjoying Bronx football on Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
Texting and driving. Texting and driving? Everyone knows there really is no and. You're either texting or you're driving. In other words, if you're typing or reading anything while you're behind the wheel, you're not paying attention and you're not in control of your vehicle. That's why law enforcement around the state is cracking down on distracted driving. Hey, Wyoming, let's put an end to texting and driving because we all know better. There is no and. This message was paid for by WYDOT.
Hey Bronx fans, do you want the best security for your home or business? Well, call the local experts today at Mountain Alarm, a proud part of Pye Barker Fire and Safety. Mountain Alarm provides world-class fire, security, life safety, and surveillance, teamed with unmatched customer service and the highest-rated 24/7 monitoring. With our state-of-the-art systems, you can get text or email alerts in the event of an alarm or view live and recorded video on your smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can also remotely control your thermostats, lights, locks, garage doors, and so much more. Call 307-733-5844 or visit mountainalarm.com today to get a free assessment and no obligation quote on a new or upgraded system for your home or business.
At the MAC halftime, and what a half it's been. First half, woo, my. That first quarter, the first 8 minutes, both these teams trading punches in the early going, and then it was the kick return for a touchdown by the Douglas Bearcats. In my mind, that's been the play of the game. That was the game-changing moment. These two teams were dead even, both swinging it out at each other, tied at 6.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that Jackson lead that they took was gone on that kickoff return by Jared Jones. And Jackson has never recovered. But there's a lot to build on. You go into the half right now. If you're head coach Keith Johnson, first thing you do is you call your special teams coach up and you say, hey, we got to cover a kick here. That can't happen again. The second thing you say, I think you can't abandon what was my game plan, Kimmy, and that's to get the ball downfield. Yeah. I know Grant Johnson had that one ball he underthrew for the interception, but there have been plays to be made down the field. I think, the more you don't take shots, the more you invite the Bearcats to just creep up to the line of scrimmage on defense, and you're already talking about a team that loves to be aggressive defensively. Waylon Cosby has not had a lot of room to work. That That end around, that fly sweep to Tyson Kendall has been ineffective. And I think it's all because of Douglas's pursuit to the ball. We know how fast they are defensively, but it also is in part to the fact that you're just not loosening this defense up. You got to throw the ball downfield and take some shots and make them honor the long ball a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are my adjustments. Don't be afraid to air it out. Get Tyson Kendall involved. I love Colin Pape, the big tight end. He presents coverage matchup problems, kind of like we saw with the big basketball player.
Our big basketball player?
Last year, I'm blanking on his name.
Andrew Hanna.
We had a big tight end. He's a load to bring down. I love hitting him on that crossing pattern over the middle. There's a lot more things Jackson can do offensively if they stop killing themselves with penalties, if they shore up the special teams and, take care of the football. That's asking a lot, but that's what it's all about. For the Douglas Bearcats, they got to feel real good playing a road game. They've traveled 7 hours by bus. This is the first time they've been in competition in 2024. They had no idea what they were playing with when they started this season tonight, and so far so good. If you're a Bearcat fan, the Cats look pretty good. We're seeing a lot of Archuleta. Their quarterback Colin Roberts has been good, and their defense, they're always good. So both teams, I think, doing what they want to do. I think Jackson,
they both look good.
Of the two teams, Jackson's left more on the field, though. There was a lot more they left out there on the table that they did not cash in on, and it was unfortunate.
Yep.
We'll come back with halftime statistics, which Kimmy obviously has compiled right after these words. It's the halftime show here at Jackson. Be back at the MAC in a moment. You're enjoying Bronx football on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
When fire, water, mold, or other damage threatens your home or business, hand the cleanup over to the company that stays with you every step of the way. The trained professionals at ServPro handle everything from commercial water loss to residential handyman services and everything in between. Call ServPro of Jackson Hole at 307-342-1400 anytime, day or night, to schedule an appointment. That number, 307-342-1400 for ServPro.
Jackson Bronx, Jake Nichols on KZ95.
For Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network, I'm Jake Nichols, Kimmy K alongside. Hopefully you're catching the game one of two ways, 95.3 FM here at terrestrial radio right in town, or if you're listening worldwide on the interwebs, kz95.live. If you want to watch the action, just go to our YouTube channel, Jackson Hole Radio. Just open your YouTube app, type in Jackson Hole Radio. That's our channel, and you'll see the live action. You'll be directed right there. If you haven't subscribed already, be among the more than 200 folks who have subscribed, and you won't miss a thing. You won't miss a minute of the action all season long. Let's talk more with head coach Keith Johnson. We talked to him before the game started about a few things that we didn't have time to get to, so we want to circle back and talk to him about it. One thing that I think Jackson has been successful on, Kimmy, is stopping the run.
Yeah,
and when
they've
you're
done a good job.
talking about Carter Archuleta, very big fullback, a hard guy to bring down. He's not speedy, but he's difficult to bring down. I wondered if Jackson was up to the challenge of stopping the run, and Coach Johnson set me straight with that right away.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's where the linebackers come into play. We have some really good linebackers. Wait till you see Colin Pape. Wait till you see Tate Wiley. Wait till you see Matthias Wilson. Wait till you see Connor Scott. We have 4 interior linemen that are big, or linebackers that are big and strong and love to plug gaps. They are especially strong against the run. I actually think we need to do some work against the pass, but our strength is defending the run. And so far, that's I think what we've done the best, looking at film.
Yeah, I think Coach Johnson's right. Last week would be an indication. Glen Rock was unsuccessful being able to run it all. And tonight, Archuleta, we know what he can do, what he's capable of. He's been quiet. Brandon Sullivan has been we haven't barely called his name. And then Colin Roberts on some keepers has been pretty good. He's found a little bit of room. I think Jackson's got to work on identifying that play action, that option stuff. That's difficult to figure out if Archuleta's got the ball or Roberts has the ball, but that's what linebackers have to do. And Jackson's got to do a little better identifying that option play and making sure they get to Roberts when he keeps it, because he has had a little bit of room. But for the most part, Jackson has done a good job stopping the run. Douglas has come out throwing a little more than I thought they would. They're not typically a throwing team, but they've been trying to throw the ball in a safe kind of way. Both teams have an interception, a turnover, 2 turnovers. Not Douglas, though. They also surrender the fumble. So two turnovers for the visiting Cats. Jackson has thrown the 1 pick, and 20-9. And the difference really in a back-and-forth game has been that kick return. I don't want to keep harping on that, but that's been the deal right now. That's been why we sit at 20-9 for a score. We talked to head coach David Hodges? Now I'm forgetting. Drew Hodges, sorry, who's taken over, of course, for longtime coach Jay Rhodes on the Bearcat side of things. Rhodes is just irreplaceable. 18 years he wore the headset on the Douglas Bearcat sidelines, and in those 8 years brought 3 titles to Converse County back to back in 2008, 9, and 2010. 100 and what are the numbers? I got to go back and look at that. 136 wins to 44 losses. Just an unbelievable career for Coach Hodges, who is now the Douglas High School AD and taking over as Drew Hodges in his first year as the head coach. He comes up the ranks. He was an assistant coach for many years, so he's, of course, familiar with the program. He hasn't changed it a whole lot. He just doesn't have the senior leadership outside of Archuleta. He's dealing with a lot of juniors and a young team. So is inaugural head coach Keith Johnson on the other side of the football. He's got a lot of juniors and a team that's just really, both these teams are really young and really fast. That's kind of what we've seen.
But when you got a young team like that and you got some leadership as juniors, you got somewhere to go this year and next year. You got growth, and that's always a good thing. I love seeing anytime you can get juniors, players, and even sophomores touches all season long here. You can imagine what they're going to be next year. Absolutely. Yep. You don't mind a young team. That's building. You're all building under a new head coach. And I like what Jackson's doing so far. I like the direction. They certainly stomped on Glen Rock last week. And if not for some unfortunate mistakes here tonight, they very well could be in this. They're still in it. It's still in 11 points. Come on. 20-9. Douglas leads this one. If you're in the locker room for Douglas, what are you saying, Kimmy? You happy with the road game so far? Yeah. Just keep your mind focused. Keep into the game. Keep doing what you're doing.
Jackson Bronx, we said, but they're likely talking about. I love the eavesdrop on what I think is going on. Actually, right underneath us is the locker room. And I know I saw that now. I think Coach Johnson right now has probably got a vein busting in his neck about the kick return.
I do have to say, the couple of drop balls and the but I still think we're playing really good. So there's stuff to improve on. Kind of just go out there and maybe calm their nerves. Like you said, yes, it's the second game because you got week 0, but it's the first home game. And school just started this week. We're tired, you're excited. There's a lot of stuff going on as they're ready to take the field again here.
Yeah, I want to see a couple more deep shots to Tyson Kennel. I want to see Colin Pape get more involved in the game. I think he's tough to bring down if you throw him even short passes over the middle and clear it out. If you can get away from Archuleta, I don't know who on the Douglas team can bring down Pape. He's a big, strong kid. So, yeah, those two things I'd like to see happen. But Jackson's got to get back in this one.
Yes.
Remember, they deferred, right? So they'll get
they get the ball.
In the second half, which is a good thing. Jackson's back out on the field. Douglas, not yet. We'll take one more break, come back, and kick this one off for the second half. Once again, the score at the half, Douglas 20, Jackson 9. You're enjoying Bronx football on the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
Texting and driving. Texting and driving? Everyone knows there really is no and. You're either texting or you're driving. In other words, if you're typing or reading anything while you're behind the wheel, you're not paying attention and you're not in control of your vehicle. That's why law enforcement around the state is cracking down on distracted driving. Hey, Wyoming, let's put an end to texting and driving because we all know better. There is no and. This message was paid for by YDOT.
Your home for Jackson Hole High School sports is KZ95. Let's get back to the game.
Well, in some ways, a very typical start to the game. I think both teams were feeling out jitters in the first quarter. That 8 minutes went so crazy, so rapidly, and then both teams settled in the second quarter. And then here we are. What are we going to do? Halftime adjustments. There's 16 minutes to play. If I rank, there's 8 minutes a quarter. I still can't remember. I'm so bad with high school sports. I'm still trying to get used to how they kick the ball off in the NFL. I saw that game last night. What the heck is going on with a kickoff?
8 is in basketball.
All right, so how many minutes in a quarter here?
I think 12.
Holy cow. I think you're right.
All I knew is the last 2.5 minutes of the first half was really long.
Okay, if you hear me say anything about time on the scoreboard, I don't know what I'm talking about. As we're just a few minutes away from kicking it off here in the second half. Yeah, so 24 minutes for Jackson to get back in this one. Certainly not insurmountable. Douglas offense, not what I would call a high-powered offense. Their defense is the name of the game, so I think you can hold things. The Jackson defense has been good. It's been special teams, surrendered the one touchdown, but otherwise, Jackson D's been pretty solid when they had to be, including forcing 2 turnovers, the pick and the fumble recovery. So, there's no reason why Jackson can't get back in this. When you look at both teams' offenses, it's Jackson has the more high-powered offense. It has a ton of speed. We have not seen, outside of the kick, any big plays. Nothing over, I would say, 20 yards. No big chunk plays, which I know coaches preach that you don't want to see anybody going to the house. One of the reasons Douglas plays that 2-deep safety look. And, that's something the Buffalo Bills have done for a million years. They keep everything in front of them. You're not going to get behind Douglas very often. They just play such a conservative 2-safety deep look. But I think there are big plays to be had, especially if you catch the Bearcats creeping up into the bots. I think you take a shot at Tyson Kendall. Kendall has already gotten behind one guy on coverage, Hollingsworth. He was open on that one play. So, I think there's shots there to be made. And then you let him and Liam Logan and Liam McPeak clear out the ends, and you throw something over the middle of the Pape. And here I am game planning everything for Coach Johnson.
All right, but you just announced all over the radio, so any team that could listen is going to know what you think
nobody
we should do.
Listens. Nobody takes me seriously. I don't even know how many minutes are in a quarter.
I remember, I told you last year.
Don't worry.
Tate Wiley and Jack Bearazay.
I'm sure Douglas
agreed with me
thinks
and not
I'm
you.
out of my mind. Yes, they did. So, Coach Johnson, let me get a look at that playbook. I'm going to add a couple pages to it, but that's what I think we got to do. We'll see. There's a scary-looking fire plume over there. That's not a fire. I think that it has been identified as we look on that far side.
Wait, that's a fire, not a cloud over there?
I'm pretty sure that's fire,
Can we see it?
not a cloud.
Nope, we can't see it from here.
Please don't mess that camera up. Yeah.
I'm not going to mess the camera. I was just going to pan it to see if I could see it.
Yeah, I'm just noting it. That looks, kind of in the Cache Creek area, a little beyond Cache Creek.
No.
We're kind of up there to what I would say is Game Creek, Cache Creek, even beyond a little bit, like up there in Granite Hot Springs. And it's probably even farther than that. It's deceiving to me.
Granite Hot Springs isn't? No, that's that direction. Isn't that where we live?
Yeah, but by the time you circle around,
nah,
you might be right.
I think you're thinking too far south.
Cache, it's like Cache Creek and beyond. But I think that's a wildfire plume. I think.
Gosh, please
I don't
no.
think that's. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's a wildfire. I don't know if it's been one identified. Obviously, we got a fire that's impacted this game. The Fish Creek fire on Togety Pass is threatening the historic Brooks Lake Lodge has shut down Togety Pass numerous times. The pass opened this morning at 7 with a chauffeur ushering you through. Meanwhile, Douglas didn't even chance it.
I mean,
they went the long way.
Yeah.
So, it's the season, early September. We haven't had much rain at all this summer. As we get ready to kick things off here to start the third quarter, second half, Jackson will receive the ball. Back to get the kick on the near hash. That looks like Waylon Cosby.
I can't see.
The kick is short to an up man. And
go.
a pretty good return here out to the 43-yard line. That's a very nice return. I'm going to get eyes on him. That looks like 34. Yes, I think you're right. Good return by Noah Zalesnik.
Noah Z. Just
Sorry,
say Noah Z. We'll get it right.
Noah Zalesnik with a very good return for an up man. And Jackson with a good field position to start this drive here in the third. Their own 43-yard line. Bronx trying to dig back into this one, trail by 11. They send twin looks to the left and right, empty backfield. As Johnson wants to throw, fires, got a man open. It's Tyson Kendall, complete. He's wrapped up
That's
quickly.
good.
A pickup of 4. It'll be second and 6. Jackson going no huddle, trying to move the game quickly here. As Johnson takes a look at the sidelines, make sure he's got the play called right. Pape is at that flanker position, and again, twin looks, 2 receivers left and right. Johnson going to keep it himself, not a lot of room. Archuleta is going to bring him down just over midfield to the 49 of the Bearcats. It'll be 3rd and 3. That was a design quarterback keeper. Meanwhile, Liam McPeak coming off the field, and he looks like he's got a cramp. It's been a hot day. McPeak coming off, and that looks like a calf cramp. Sorry, not McPeak. That's Logan. Yeah. It's another Liam, but it's Liam Logan. 2 receivers to the left. To the inside is Tyson Kendall. Keep an eye on him. 1 receiver to the right. Cosby, the backfield and offsides. That's going to give Jackson a first down. Oh, and the Bronx get a huge break as the Bearcats put themselves off sides. And boy, I hate to call a guy out for an offsides play like that, but it looked to be Lewis Smith, and he is one of their top linemen. But I believe that was Smith on that far left tackle, the senior who jumped off sides. Although they're not moving the ball yet, so hold on. Was there movement by Jackson? You hear the crowd saying, hey, make the right call here. As we wait to see what the Zebras are going to do, and they're going to
take their time.
They're not going to move it anywhere.
Oh, yeah, they are. There they go. They're moving it.
All right, it is neutral zone infraction, offsides. Oh, that took a minute. I didn't see any movement on the Jackson line, but of course I see things in rose-colored glasses or black and orange glasses.
That's true.
All right, 1st and 10. We move the sticks. Jackson in Douglas territory at the 44-yard line. Cosby in the backfield, the lone back. Now he's going to shift out and again the slot receiver position on the right side. Empty backfield again for Jackson. Cosby in motion. Flip to him. He's coming here near side and tackled beautifully. What a play.
There's a flag on the play.
Colin Pape could not make the block as his man got containment. That was a beautiful play by Milo Oria, I believe, the sophomore, if I got the number right. I don't know what the flag is about, but that was a really good play on Douglas.
We're walking back our way.
Now they're going to march it off against Jackson. I didn't see what it was.
Me neither. They're going way too fast for me. I'm a little slow tonight.
And that's a big penalty. Jackson marched all the way back into their own territory now. Well, the good news is it didn't wipe out an effective play. That was not a productive play. It would have been a no gain, maybe a loss, but Douglas, meanwhile, takes the penalty because it makes it 1st and 20. Jackson Bronx line up, looking to throw is Johnson. He wants it all. Aaron deep. He wants Tyson Kendall. Tyson Kendall makes the catch. Unbelievable. Tyson Kendall inside the 5-yard line. Oh, my. Here's the replay. Kendall, what a catch. And the Jackson Bronx are in business, knocking at the door. 1st and goal from the 5. And what did I say, Kimmy? You got to take shots.
They did. They came out on fire.
Johnson put it right on the money. 1st down. They give to Cosby, looking right tackle. And he gets a couple down to the 2. 2nd and goal. What a big play for Jackson. You know, that ball was put right. That was a dime that Johnson dropped on Kendall.
I was afraid I wasn't going to get there fast enough.
Kendall did not have a lot of separation, and that was put right in the breadbasket. Another give to Cosby. He lowers the boom and is in. Touchdown, Bronx. Oh, my. Jackson answers quickly here in the 2nd half and punches it in. 20-15 with a PAT coming. On to kick, Vincent Villasana. He's already hit a 36-yard field goal. A missed PAT earlier was a result of a bad snap, as snap actually never got to the holder. So let's see what they do here. They may go for 2. They are going for two. They're down by 5. This would make it 3, so this makes perfect sense. No, they're going to kick. They're going to kick.
They are going to kick.
Villasano, I almost want to go for 2 here. Villasano,
maybe they're going to fake it.
He's going to kick. It is up and good.
All right.
So Coach Johnson is playing the long game.
Yep, let's play it. Let's get the points. Let's play safe.
It's 20-16, a 4-point game.
Oh, I'm not ready yet. We're not here.
What a big turn of events as that drive on the opening drive in the 2nd half by the Jackson Bronx, capped by a Waylon Cosby 2-yard touchdown plunge. But the big play was Johnson to Kendall, and we're going to hear that combination all year long, number 10 to number 1. And I said in the pregame, a lot of folks are going to take a double take and say, is that Sib Brunner, number 1?
I know. I had a hard time when you said another name when I saw one out there.
Tyson Kendall is wearing Sib Brunner's old number, and he's doing Sib Brunner things.
I was just going to say, yeah, he did.
What a big catch by Kendall. And I'll tell you, that was another catch that wasn't easy to make because the coverage from Hollingsworth, again, he waved an arm in Kendall's eyes. This time, Tyson held on. What a play that was. I can't get enough of it. I'm going to show the replay again.
About that? Go ahead. You're a little excited
just because
there.
I got a replay to work. Here's the kickoff. Handled 1 yard deep in the end zone. He's got to come out now. Meyer, no, he can't come out. That's high school football. And the one way to cover kicks, if you're bad at covering kicks, is to boot it in the end zone. And that's what they did. Vincent Villasano puts a toe to it. 1 yard deep in the end zone. Meyer muffed it. And that's where it goes. Touchback out to the 20. 1st and 10 for the Cats. 9:36 to go in the 3rd. And we'll see if Douglas responds now. They watched an 11-point lead, now whittled to 4. As the Jackson Bronx defense, boy, they just feel like they're hungry for a turnover, doesn't it?
Ooh, nobody
has hands on hips right now. They all look business.
Good for that. I told
Snap
you.
to Roberts to give to Archuleta. Shucks one tackler, and now he's stacked up after a pickup of nearly 5. In on the tackle, Jack Barazay got help from Owen McGowan. And Archuleta picks up 5. And anytime Archuleta touches the ball and gets 5 or less, I think that's a win if you're the Bronx. He's just so tough to bring down. I don't mind that at all. 2nd and 5 for the Cats. They break the huddle. Archuleta again to the backfield. He's done the bulk of the carrying. We have not seen Brendan Sullivan very much. Twins to both sides now, receivers. Man in motion is Cash Tillard. Tillard gets the ball. Fly sweep far side. He's got blockers, including Archuleta. And Tillard finally knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line in a big pickup for the speedy wide receiver. That play has been money for Douglas so far today, and it works again. A big pickup for the Bearcats. They're going to mark it at the 45. He stepped out a little earlier than I thought. As the Bearcats huddle up here, Colin Roberts, the junior quarterback, has gone all the way for the Cats. The 6'1", 185-pound junior has looked very good. Archuleta in the backfield has carried the load in the rushing game. The snap fake to Archuleta. Play action, looking to throw. Got a man wide open behind everybody, and it's incomplete. Oh, my. Jackson caught a break as Cosby was in on the coverage along with Liam McPeak, who says, my bad. The pass was intended for Cash Lenzen. He got behind everybody, and Liam McPeak caught a break there. That could have been dangerous. McPeak got help from Cosby, who is playing safety, but neither guy was anywhere to cover that. And if it wasn't overthrown, that could have been deadly. 2nd and 10 for Douglas. Pitch to Archuleta, far side. He's got blockers. He's got a lot of room. And he's finally brought down inside the 35 to the 34. And that was a case where Archuleta didn't break any tackles. There just wasn't any Jackson players there as he bowled his way for a 20-yard pickup. Timeout, official timeout, as they got to move the sticks, I believe. Now, did somebody call this? I think it's...
let's see. I didn't hear anything.
Somebody called a timeout, so...
Let's see who takes it off.
We'll mention this timeout brought to you by Jackson Hole Ford, locally owned and operated, serving locals with locals. Award-winning service department, factory-trained, certified technicians. Check out their Google reviews. They're all 4-5 stars. Jackson Hole Ford sponsoring this timeout. Bearcats on the move, so we wondered if they would have an answer. So far, they do. 1st and 10 at the Bronx 35 for the Bearcats. They come out with a familiar setup. Archuleta in the backfield with Roberts. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. That one in motion is Meyer. Rolling to his right and throwing pass. Caught and immediately knocked down. Good play by Liam McPeak as Meyer made the catch. And a pickup of about 4, maybe 5 if they're generous, and they are. So it'll be 2nd and 5.
Oh, wait, we got numbers over there now.
Yes, we do. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Yeah, we got everything functional now, including the Big O scoreboard. Big O, a reputation you can ride on at the Target Plaza. Bearcats come up now, 1st and 10. Roberts calling the signals in the pistol formation. 3 receivers to the left. Watch that screenplay here to Meyer, and now whistles before the snap. And the backfield is Kyler Douse, by the way, who has replaced Archuleta for the moment. I think Archuleta's just getting a blow. He's done a lot of work tonight.
Another penalty.
Remember,
like our 7th?
Carter Archuleta plays 2 ways, so he's been getting a lot of touches. And, yeah, that's a pre-snap penalty on Jackson. That's costly. It gives the Bearcats a 1st down and moves the ball to the Jackson 25. Snap to Roberts, wants to throw. That's that screen pass to Cash Tillard, meanwhile, he made the catch, but he went to the ground, which means that's where the ball is spotted. No gain, whether it was caught or not, and it was because the clock's moving. 7:05 and counting. And they're actually going to call it a 2-yard loss on the completion.
Okay, I'll take that.
To Tillard. Yeah, that anytime, and you don't think that play wasn't identified by Coach Johnson at halftime. That trips to one side. Here's trips right. Every time they've run that, it's been that screen pass to the trailer as Archuleta's back in the backfield. Tillard in motion. The give is to Archuleta. There's nowhere to go.
Nice.
He's shut down. And the big hit made by Matthias Wilson. Archuleta nowhere to go. The senior Wilson, 6'1", 230. Man, it's 3rd and 12 now for the Cats. They go no huddle, trips right. Back to throw is Roberts, looking near side. He's got Meyer. Meyer brought down short of the first down. And we'll see what kind of decision Drew Hodges wants to make here. It'll bring up 4th and about 5, I'm thinking. Maybe 4. Now they're showing they're going to go. 4th and 4, no huddle, big play here.
Wow.
Jackson needs this. Roberts is trying to draw Jackson off sides, but he won't be able to. That's all they're trying to do here is get Jackson to jump. Now Roberts gets the snap, rolling left, looking for a man. Nobody open, goes end zone. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Meyer. Oh my. He wants that one back. That is Owen Meyer, who was open in the back of the end zone, and boy, did Roberts put that ball right on him. Credit Colin Roberts. What a throw. I didn't see anybody open on that play short.
No, I saw him like that. Yeah,
but he
had to
had
go,
Myers
and man,
deep.
That just slipped through his hands.
Oh,
Thank you.
Boy, that Jackson dodges a bullet. That could have been deadly, but it's incomplete. And a turnover on downs. The Jackson Bronx take over at their own 20-yard line. Oh, no, make that the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bronx. Empty backfield. Johnson to throw. Has time. Guns it. Pape dropped it. I don't know if it got to him. It looked like it did. And I think he just dropped it. That was drilled. I tell you, Johnson can really chuck it. Take a look at the replay, and he just fires this. And I think Pape just dropped it.
Okay, let's see.
2nd and 10 for the Bronx. Clock at 5:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jackson trailed by 4. Jackson going to go trips right. Pape in that slot spot. One receiver to the left. Cosby now in motion out of the backfield. Empty backfield. It's just Johnson. He wants to throw. Lets it go under pressure. Looking deep for Kendall. It's incomplete. The coverage was very good. Provided by Jarrett Jones, the speedy Jones for the Bearcats. And it looks like Coach Hodges has identified Kendall as Jackson's speed threat, and he's taken Hollingsworth off him, and he's now put man on man with Jarrett Jones, who I think is the Bearcats' fastest guy.
So if you're a Bronx and you know that, can you give it to another guy then?
I go to Liam Logan on the other side, but Logan came out cramping, and I don't think he's been back. Here's the snap to Johnson, rolling right, throwing, picked off, intercepted by Owen Meyer, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds just inside the 10. And that play never had a chance. Johnson threw it. The man wasn't open. Not sure who it was intended for, but that wasn't there. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, I can't quite see you come up with it. I'm going to slow that replay down when we go back to it. 5:15 to go in the 3rd. Jackson with a deadly turnover here. That was costly. So both teams now with 2 turnovers. It's a 2nd interception Johnson has thrown, and there's a Bronx player down on the field. So, boy, a tough deal as Johnson was rolling to his right. I'm not sure what he saw. You know, Johnson, one thing I haven't said about him, and I've given him a lot of accolades, he's pretty good throwing on the move.
Yeah.
Certainly to his right. He throws the ball well off his off his back leg and off his off leg. He's just got a strong arm. He throws the ball well,
What
rolling
year
to
is
his
he?
right. But he's a junior.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But that wasn't the play there. And now
Who is that, number 10?
getting up, coming off the field, looks to be
Yeah, number 10.
Grant Johnson, the quarterback.
No.
And they could ill afford to have him hurt. Looks like he's walking a little better. And I'm
His
not
head,
sure.
maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. But
He's holding his helmet. Oh, he's taking his helmet off, though. All right.
Johnson comes off. We'll keep an eye on him. But meanwhile, the turnover. Well, no, it's not a turnover. What's going on here?
Oh, maybe they gave him some kind of hit or something, flags, and we missed it?
I have no idea what just happened. Jackson still has the ball. They have a new quarterback in the game. Meanwhile, they give nothing going there, no gain. The new quarterback is Ace Emery, the backup. He's a sophomore. Ace handed off there to,
Who's 18?
I believe, Cosby. Yeah, Waylon Cosby. He got nothing. So
Lost his helmet, too.
they're saying 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 with 5 minutes to go. Johnson is out at quarterback. Ace Emery is in. Johnson shaken up. So how does Jackson do with the backup quarterback? High snap. Emery pulls it down, throws, and that's dropped. Just dropped. Now, was it behind the line? That was very close. That would make it a fumble. The pass intended for Joshua Flores, and he just dropped it. And that's the second time Flores has dropped one in the flat all alone. Emery put it right on him.
Yeah.
But a drop, and it's 3rd and 12. You got to help out your backup quarterback there. Boy, you can't drop that one. And Johnson checks back into the game now. That's the good news. The bad news is he's faced with a 3rd and 12. Jackson's done it before. Keep an eye on the bottom of your screen there. These two receivers. They're going to go far side. Johnson lets it go. Hit as he throws, and it's caught. Oh, my, it's caught. What a catch. Off the hands of a Bearcat defender and into the arms of Tyson Kendall. That was crazy.
I thought it was an interception.
Let's look at the replay. That's off the hands of the Bearcat defender and right into the arms of Tyson Kendall. That's nuts. 1st and 10 for the Bronx at the Bearcat 45. Snap to Johnson. He's pressured. He's going to tuck it and run, and there's nowhere to go. He's sacked, a loss of 4. Johnson had no time there. The Bearcats were coming with pressure. And I know I said earlier you got to take shots. Now I'm thinking with this pressure on Johnson, I almost want to give it to Cosby and make the Bearcats pay for pressuring the quarterback. A little bit of a draw, a trap play maybe. But, yeah, Johnson is feeling the heat lately, and it's almost gotten to him. It's caused 2 interceptions, and it got a sack there. So all of a sudden the Bearcat pressure on the quarterback, which we didn't really talk about in the first half, has come into factor here in this second half as Douglas is really bringing it on number 10. So, I mean, 2nd and 15 is not a down you normally want to run, but I wouldn't mind trying to trick Douglas here. Maybe a screen play to Cosby, maybe something that invites the rush, but then delayed handoff. I don't know. I'm trying to think into Coach Johnson's playbook here as we have a long delay for some odd reason, and now we're ready to go, I think. Jackson trail 20-16, 4:21 to go in the 3rd. Plenty of football left. Turnovers starting to become a narrative in this game. Both teams have committed a couple. 2 interceptions off the arm of Grant Johnson. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, Rogers for Douglas has thrown a pick, and they've also surrendered a fumble. Jackson breaks the huddle. Sam Revel to the bottom of your screen, and the slot is Kendall. Snap and the give to Douglas, or to Kendall. Just what I said to Cosby. I just can't think of who it is. I'm so excited that they handed it on. That's the exact play I was thinking of.
No, look at you telling
But
what they're
it didn't work, and this is why I'm not the head coach. Kendall got 3, so he got 3 of the 4 back from the sack, but it's still going to bring up 3rd and about 11 here. Jackson's got to get to the 35 of the Bearcats, and this is 3rd and long. What do you do, Kimmy?
Just try it.
Try it.
Go for it.
That's the expert analysis from Kimmy. Try it.
I'm not
All
an
right.
expert.
Well, they're going to try it. Johnson launches it deep. Oh, what a catch! What a catch! And a flag! Late flag after the play. I'm not sure what that's about.
I hope
but
it's not
what
us.
a catch! And that's going to be on Jackson.
Dang
and
it.
I think that's going to be a little showboating after the play as Tyson Kendall, I think, came up with it.
He was excited. Come on.
Let's take a look at the replay. Kendall just grabbed that ball right away from Jared Jones. Jared Jones for the Bearcats was sitting there under it, thinking he had it. Take a look at it. Jones is sitting there. I got this. And out of nowhere comes Tyson Kendall and makes an amazing catch. And it's coming back. Some of it's coming back. Now the play counts.
It's okay. It's still a first.
It's a first down.
Yeah. 4 more downs to go. Close
But
to the end
because
zone.
Kendall can't keep a lid on it, and you want to talk about looking like Seb Brunner, number 1 shoots
Don't you
his mouth
dare.
off, and now we got a
Sorry,
penalty. All right,
Charity.
but what a play by Kendall. Hand off to Cosby, tripped up at the line, but he surges ahead for another couple of yards. Contacted, he made 2 yards, turned into 5. 2nd and 5 for the Bronx. Jackson, quick, no huddle here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kendall in the backfield. The swing out to Kendall. He doesn't have a lot of room there, and he's going to go down. That's a loss of a couple, and a really good play on that far side.
It felt like that one took off a little slow.
Cody Hessler with a beautiful play for the Bearcats. He recognized that play, and he brought Kendall down. Yes, that was a little bit slow developing, a little bit telegraphed by Jackson.
It was like you could kind of tell where once it
we're
went.
showing
so
you
that
what
wasn't
we're
going
doing.
anywhere.
Yeah, it was just slow. You know, maybe Johnson, when he's got more experience under the belt, maybe he looks everybody off by looking left, knowing that he's going to come back right to Kendall out of the backfield. But he stared that down the whole way, and it was read by Hessler. Loss of a couple. 3rd and 8 Bronx. Snap to give to Cosby. Yes, over the right side. Breaks 1 tackle, but he's not going to break another. He's brought down, and now they're saying a fumble, and there is. As Kendall coughs it up, and the Bronx had turned it over again, and it looked like Archuleta caused the fumble. Not sure who recovered.
Well, if I got hit by him, I might lose the ball too.
And with 90 seconds left in the 3rd, the Bronx have committed their 3rd turnover of the game. Tough break for Jackson. The Bearcats take over. Still a lot of time in this one. Jackson trailed 20-16 to Douglas. The fumble by Kendall, his first. And the Bearcats line up with 2 split wide right, 1 to the left. It's Archuleta, little dancing move in the line. Tate Wiley had him wrapped up but then lost him. And Archuleta rolls forward for a pickup of 5. Wiley had a shot at him. And Archuleta is tough to bring down. And credit Carter. We thought going in we'd see a lot more of Sullivan out of the backfield and a little bit of Archuleta, maybe 50-50. It's been all Carter. And Coach Drew Hodges is leaning on his big senior. Archuleta in the backfield again. Pistol formation. But the snap on the give is a pitch far side. Contacted. No gain. What a great play. As that play was sniffed out to the left side. The pitch to Kyler Douse went nowhere. I'm not sure who was first in on the tackle, but Jackson did a good job of stringing that play out. Dowson had no chance, and he lost a couple. Going to bring up 3rd and 8 now, I believe, depending on the spot. Looks like they're going to set it down at the 25. which would make it third. Now they're going to march off a penalty on the Bronx. And what was that?
I don't know. I missed that completely. So, and I've been watching this time around.
I cannot hear the announcer. I don't know what that was.
Here, I'll take my thing on off. I'm trying to hear.
Another mysterious penalty. It gives Douglas a first down. Penalties have been an issue for the Bronx. They had a chance there, 3rd and long, to stop the Bearcat drive. All they did is give the Cats new life there with that penalty, whatever it was. Inexcusable. 1st and 10 for Douglas at their own 42 rather. Liam McPeak's mom stops by the broadcast booth. Liam is having a ball game. Snap. Rogers going to keep it himself. He's got plenty of room. Rogers to the 45, the 40, the 35, and he's knocked out of bounds with a first down. And we said at halftime, the one thing that is working for Douglas is Rogers keeping out of the backfield. He had way too much real estate there. Nobody touched him for 15 yards. And then he ends up running for at least 20. He's down to the Jackson 38 before he's knocked out of bounds.
All right, come on. Don't lose it just because you lost the ball. Let's get
Colin Roberts having a big day quarterbacking for Douglas. They were wondering how they were going to replace Trey Wren, their quarterback from last year. Well, the answer might be number 15, Colin Roberts. What a good game he's having. Roberts rolling right, looking to throw. Got a man wide open, a busted coverage. McPeak is the closest guy, and he drills his man out of bounds. It's just Jarrett Jones, and another first down for the Bearcats. And that looked like busted coverage for Jackson. There was nobody near Jarrett Jones. McPeak, the closest guy. We got laundry on the field here in the Douglas backfield. But it's going to be on Jackson, and that's roughing the passer, I believe.
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh, my.
I'm on it. I was just back farther. Stop.
That, I think, is roughing the passer, and that is a 15-yard penalty all the way down to the 11-yard line of the Bronx. Oh, man. Jackson is doing everything they can to hand Douglas this ball game.
Let's go, defense.
Roberts brings him up. He's got Sullivan and Archuleta to his right out of the pistol. Now they move to his left. The pitch is to Archuleta, left side. He's got blocking from Sullivan. Archuleta heads for the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Carter Archuleta. And as the third quarter comes to an end, the Bearcats strike back.
We kind of just gave him that touchdown, though.
Jackson did everything they could to make sure Douglas scored that 6. Just inexcusable penalties gives Douglas the touchdown drive. Here comes the PAT from the mysterious 21. The snap good, hold good, and the kick is blocked. It's no good. So at the end of 3, the score is Douglas 26, Jackson 16. It's a 10-point game. Certainly doable for the Jackson Bronx with a fresh 12 put on the board.
12 to go.
The Bronx have got to fix a few things, however. They can't afford a turnover at all, and they've done that a few times. And they have just got to stop the penalties. They've got to stop the bleeding there. There's been way too many flags. And you know,
especially that last drive. Like, we really just gave them that score.
Yeah, I mean, some of the penalties I haven't seen. They might have been mysterious, but some of them have been, you can't do that.
We walked that way, but it wasn't the Bearcats going that way. It was Jackson going that way. So that's all right. Come on, we got a whole another quarter to do, and they just need to come out like they did after half. They came out on fire. We got to get that fire back.
Well, credit the Bearcats. What a big drive that was aided by a few key penalties from the black and orange. But Jackson Douglas put together a good drive. Clinton Rogers, the quarterback, has had a heck of a ball game. Colin Roberts, sorry. Clinton Rogers. I don't know what to call these guys. Look, it's the first game of the year for me, too. Colin Roberts has had a heck of a ball game for Douglas, both with his feet and with his arm. Archuleta has been good, but, Jackson's done a good job of containing him. Really, it's Jackson's own fault right now that they're in a 10-point hole.
Yeah.
As the kickoff coming here to the Jackson Bronx. It's a good one down the middle. It's Flores Carrillo. Flores Carrillo right up the middle. Carrillo! All the way out to the 40, and he dropped the football. Football is loose on the ground, and I believe that Bronx recovered.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They're too excited, so they did not lose that. Gotta hold that ball, boys.
Well, Flores Carrillo, he's only a sophomore. I've been tough on him because he's dropped two passes.
He is only a sophomore.
I believe he put the ball on the ground there, but a really good return puts Jackson in great shape here at their own 42-yard line. And I'm pretty sure that was Flores Carrillo. Now, I'm not positive. I never did. I believe it was Joshua Flores. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Kind of sure.
I can't see this far. I'm like, I can't see.
Empty backfield. Look at the throw. Johnson has time, has a man. It's Kendall. Tyson Kendall down. A pickup of just about 4. Carter Archuleta in on the tackle. Going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bronx. And you know what? If that's there, take it. I know it's not a big gainer, but
hey,
chip
it only
away.
takes little bits. You got 4 tries to get a first down and keep going down the field.
I mean, that's not where I want Tyson Kendall catching a football. That's Pape territory in the middle there, but okay. 2nd and 6. Bronx line it up. Again, empty backfield. 4 receivers in the formation. Keeping the ball is Johnson. He's going nowhere as he is plowed under. And it's going to be a loss of a couple. There to make the contact is Colton Peterson. Haven't called his name. The 6'6", 200-pound junior tackle was right there. And Johnson was going nowhere. That was a design keeper. Grant Johnson lucky to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 6 now for Jackson. 10:44 and counting. Bronx and trips right, 1 receiver to the left. Cosby in the backfield, the snap. Johnson, he wants it all. Going far side, puts it up, incomplete. Intended for Logan. He was double covered. That's not the guy I thought that was open. I thought Johnson made a bad read there. It was double coverage on Logan, and he was just swarmed. There was no way that ball was going to get in there. So it brings up 4th and 6. And I don't think there's even a decision here. You got to go.
You got to go for it? Yeah, I guess at this point we're in the 4th.
Jackson's going to go for it as Johnson remains out there. He's got 2 receivers split wide right to the left. Pape is in there at that flanker spot. Shotgun snap to Johnson. Calls for it, claps his hands. Now they're not going to snap it here. Hold on. Okay. As Johnson surveys the defense. Now they'll get the play off. They're going to punt. That's another one of those sneak punts. There's nobody back to receive. That's a good punt. It's going to go out of bounds at the 13-yard line, and it's up to the Jackson Bronx defense now. Well, you know, that worked. If Douglas has nobody back to receive a kick and they think you're going to go for it, okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind the punt, but this puts all the pressure on your defense. You need to stop it, and you need it fast.
Well,
you cannot allow Douglas to put together a multi-play drive here and burn clock. 10:26 to go in regulation.
And D's got to play smart. They've got a lot of penalties upon them.
Jackson has forced a couple picks and grabbed the fumble, so maybe the ball is at the Douglas 13-yard line. So the Bearcats have to be careful here. Coach Drew Hodges has to send the message to his team. Keep a hold of that football. It's Archuleta again in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Flags before the snap. That came all the way back from the back judge. And he's counting players. And I think he's seen too many Douglas players.
Oh, yeah. Someone came running on at the end,
Somebody came on late, and that might have made 12. Got too many men on the field for Douglas, and that'll push it back. And Oh, that's Jackson.
What?
Oh, you're right.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I saw someone moving on Douglas' side.
That's on the Bronx. Sorry, and wouldn't you know it? Boy, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong for Jackson. Man in motion, same play here for Douglas. Bearcats hand off to Archuleta, looking left side. Bounces it outside, now back inside. He's finally brought down. Just shy of a first down, I believe. Pape in on the stop along with Barazay. Archuleta's close to the first down, but I don't think he got it. Boy, he got a good spot. Maybe he did.
Yes,
yeah,
he
he did.
did.
They're going to move the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Clock ticking now at 10:16 to go in the 4th. Jackson Bronx had Douglas pinned deep in their territory. A penalty before a snap and then a first down run.
Well, when you only have to go 5 yards.
Here come the
5.
Cats. Yep, Archuleta and Sullivan to the backfield. The pitch is to, that's Hessler. First down run, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 42. And another big play. Getting to the outside. That's Kyler Dowse. And you know what? Dowse has been a little bit effective on that sweep as well. And it's tough when you're the Jackson D and you've got to account for Archuleta right up the gut. So you want to kind of pack the middle, but then they run something around the end with Dowse. And that's, Douglas is just keep it on the ground all night long. And they're real problem to handle. And Dowse with the first down run around the right side to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, man in motion. Snap pistol formation, fake to Dowse. And Roberts going to keep it. Spins away from a tackle. He's got a first down and more as he's driven out of bounds in Jackson territory to the 49-yard line. Colin Roberts with another play action. Another option keep.
Well, that one tricked me because I wasn't for sure where the ball was at.
Roberts has been good at that. He does a good job of faking the handoff to Dowse, kept it himself, and it moves the sticks. A fresh set of downs. And they're going to mark it at the Jackson 48-yard line. The Bearcats on the move. This is what Jackson could ill afford. The reason they punted was to ask their defense to come up with a big stop or a turnover. So far, that has not happened. Cats on the move. 1st and 10. Archuleta in the backfield with Sullivan. High snap, and Roberts is going to get to it. Now rolling. Fires. Got a man. It's Sullivan wide open. Brendan Sullivan down to the 31-yard line before he's tackled, and that's the biggest play we've seen out of Brendan Sullivan. The 5'10", 195-pound junior. He's slow to get up. Wiley in on the tackle. But Sullivan was wide open. That high snap almost created a problem. But a good job by Colin Roberts to adjust, settle himself down, and find Sullivan out of that left flat. And Brennan was wide open. Sullivan now getting attention on his right leg. That may be a cramp. Meanwhile, it's another fresh set of downs for the Cats as they are rolling. And I wonder if the Bronx defense isn't starting to tire here a little bit. They've been on the field a lot. It's been a hot day to start. Jackson had the advantage of being able to play backup players last week at Glen Rock. So this is the first time starters have been asked to go out and play a full 48 minutes. And I wonder if Jackson isn't starting to tire. Sullivan's up and feeling good. Runs off to the far sidelines. Gets a good hand. Black Hole trying to pump up the Jackson Bronx. They need a turnover here. I don't even know a stop gets it done because Douglas almost in field goal range. You're at the 31 of Jackson. The Bronx sorely need to turn something over here, but first they got to stop this running game. Douglas just pounding ground here. They give to Archuleta, and that almost happened. It's the fumble on the exchange. Carter Archuleta pounced on it. It's going to be no gain. And Bearcats very fortunate there.
Was close.
That was the turnover Jackson was hunting for. As Archuleta, the handoff looked to be really high in Carter Archuleta's chest. And it bounced right off him and then right to the turf and then right back up into his arms. How fortunate. That could have been costly for Douglas. Clock still the enemy here of the Jackson Bronx. 8:42 in counting. 2nd and 10 for Douglas. Pistol formation. Archuleta behind Sullivan. Roberts calls for the snap. He rolling right. He wants to throw. He does. Wide open. He's got a man. Catch made. That's going to be short of the first down as Jackson brings down Landon Martinez. I believe that's his first catch of the day. Martinez has 6. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 here. That was a big play. And now slow to get up is Jackson's Garrett Seals, but he's up. Third, and the scoreboard says 2. Okay, that's a long 2. 3rd and 2. Ball at the Jackson 23-yard line. Boy, everybody in the joint has got to be looking right now at 42. How does Archuleta not get this carry? Archuleta moves the man in front of him up a little. That's the lead blocker. Watch for Carter here as Roberts takes the snap. No, it's give to the first man through, and Jackson stuffs it. Tate Wiley leads the charge, and I believe that's short of the first down. That's going to be close. Woo. As the give was to Kyler Douse, the first man through. He did not get there. No huddle. They're going to go for it. Oh. Jackson confusion over how many men they have, and they got to call a timeout. Liam McPeak, I think, called it as the Bronx were not ready for the no huddle.
Someone was running out, not running out. I don't know what's going on there.
I'll tell you, smart by Drew Hodges, the Bearcats coach. How many times have we seen him tonight with a 4th and short? He decides, number 1, to go for it, and he decides, number 2, to no huddle. Yeah. He really counts on confusing the Bronx and getting them ill-prepared, and it worked there. Jackson's got to burn a timeout, and that may come in costly later. But Jackson had the wrong personnel on. They were not ready for that play. It's probably best, honestly, for Coach Johnson to get a timeout and make sure about what you want to do here. 4th and a yard. This is the biggest play of the ball game. Archuleta behind Douse. And you've got to think now Archuleta gets the carry. Is that Douse or is that 22? Can't quite see it. It might be Hessler. It is Hessler. Archuleta gets the call. He gets a pitch right side, gets some good blocking, and he's got a first down before he's brought down a pickup of about 5. I was thinking maybe a flag on a block on the edge there, but no such thing. That's a first down for the Cats, and they are in the red zone. Money zone for Douglas, trying to salt this one away. Douglas already leads by 10, 26-16. Ball inside the 15 at the 14 of the Jackson Bronx. 7:10 to play, and clock rolling. Douglas in no hurry here, burning time and trying to put this one into bed. It's again a pistol formation. Roberts out of the gun. Man in motion is Landon Martinez. Snap on the give to the right side. Got some room. Knocked out of bounds. It's Kyler Douse. And Douse running wide. Archuleta running up the middle. And Roberts occasionally keeping the ball has been the formula for Douglas. It is no secret. 42's going to get it between the tackles. Douse is going to get it to the outside, and then Roberts may decide to tuck in and run on any of the PIOs. Pass run options, but that's tough. It's going to be 2nd and 3 now. It's possible to get a first down without scoring. There's the snap and the pitch to Archuleta. Right side, nothing doing. He's going to lose a yard. Bring up 3rd and 3, maybe 3rd and 4. Good job, Jackson identified that play. You know, I'll tell you something. Every time they pitch to Archuleta to the outside, number 1, it hasn't worked. Number 2, the pitches have actually been forward, which if Archuleta drops that, it's an incomplete pass. So I don't know if they do that intentionally or not. But whenever they pitch to Carter Archuleta going around the outside, it's a forward pitch, which is a pass. And I don't know that that's intentional, but for Jackson, it hasn't worked all night. Carter Archuleta is much more effective between the tackles, and Douse is the guy you want running around the outside.
Yeah.
Archuleta never did get the edge there. Jackson did a good job of stopping him. 3rd and 3, 6:23 to go. Timeout on the field is injury related, I believe.
Yeah.
As the Bronx talk things over. Big O scoreboard showing 26-16. Douglas lead. This timeout brought to you by Jackson Hole Ford. Always searching for used vehicles. Let them make you a cash offer today. You got a vehicle that you want to trade in? Nobody will give you more money than Jackson Hole Ford. Ask them to take that old jalopy off your hands, and they'll give you a bundle of cash doing it. Yeah, it's an injury timeout. Is getting up and getting off the field for the Jackson Bronx.
Oh, I didn't see that over there. I was trying to find him.
Yeah,
is
it's going to be number 22, Matthias Wilson, who's had a really good game defensively, and they're going to miss him. He's really been strong at the linebacker position. So Jackson's got to make a goal line stand here. They got to do it without Matthias Wilson, and we'll see what the Bearcats dial up. 3rd and 3. Their moneymaker has been 42. Keep an eye on Archuleta in the backfield. Although he's not even there, they're going to go empty backfield. Roberts going to keep it, and he's not going to get there. Oh, my, the Jackson Bronx.
Who was it
Big
on that
contact
tackle?
behind the line, and that play went nowhere. What a play, and I think it was tipped off by the fact that Archuleta was not in the backfield. And I was too late getting the replay. I don't know who made that hit, but a loss of 2 brings up 4th and 5. And the Bearcats could really put this one out of reach with a field goal, but they're going to go for it.
They want to put a nail in the coffin.
Douglas leads by 10. Archuleta to the left of Roberts. The pitch moving to his left is Roberts. Wants to throw. Got a man. Touchdown. Pass is caught by number 7. That'll be a touchdown. That's Cash Lenzen. He's had a real good game for the Bearcats as well. And Douglas has all but salted this one away with that play. A 4th down and 5, and they convert. Roberts to Lenzen. And it's 32-16 pending the PAT, which is up and good. So Douglas starting to create a little separation here with 5:30 left to go. And for the Jackson Bronx, it's suddenly become a game of what could have been. Penalties. Turnovers a little bit. Special teams. It's the 3 things you talk about when you talk about early season stuff. Your home opener, every coach is going to stress nerves. And nerves equate to turnovers. Nerves cause penalties. And nerves, you haven't practiced special teams a lot. You haven't had an occasion to practice. So those 3 things have really bit the Bronx in the butt tonight.
Yeah,
special teams, penalties, and turnovers.
The penalties, to me, I think are their biggest knife.
You clean that up, and this is a very close game.
Yeah, I know someone who used to be involved in football, not here right now, and asked how they doing. I'd say they're doing great, but penalties hurt them tonight.
Yeah, the Bearcats kicking off here. See if they try to pooch one. No, they're going to kick it deep on one bounce. It's going to go to, I believe, 15. It looks like Manny Carrillo.
Yeah.
Manny Carrillo with a pretty decent return out over the 30, but
Wait, 15? Are you sure it's 15?
I'm pretty sure it was 15.
Turn around.
Carrillo.
Oh, yeah, it was 15.
Okay, Manny Carrillo.
Yep. Kind of looked like a 12 to me, so I just wanted to make sure.
Manny, the brother of Santi. Manny, the sophomore. So we're going to see a couple more years of that kid. As he returns it out to the 30-yard line. Jackson 1st and 10, 70 yards to go, and 5.5 minutes to do it. And they trail 33-16. Empty backfield, no secret here. You got to throw. Johnson has time. Fires, has a man, incomplete. That was almost intercepted. As jumping in at the last minute to break that play up was Cash Lenzen. How many times have we called his name tonight? Lenzen has had a monster game for the Cats. 2nd and 10 on the incompletion. Could have been worse. Johnson had a man momentarily, but Lenzen came up and made a good aggressive play on the ball and knock it loose. 2nd and 10 now. Jackson from their own 30. Snap to Johnson. Coming near side. Flips it to Tyson Kendall in the flat. Kendall has nowhere to go, and he's brought down with no gain. Out of bounds at the 30. Clock stops. No, they're going to say he stays in bounds. Clock continues to roll. That play never worked. Douglas seems to be very aware of number 1 right now, Tyson Kendall. They're not going to let lose sight of him at all. Kendall had nowhere to go after he caught that ball in the flat. He was brought down immediately. 3rd and 10 now for the Jackson Bronx. By the way, that was Hollingsworth for Douglas on the good tackle there. 4:40 to play. Johnson to throw. He's got plenty of time. Looking for a man. Fires incomplete. Intended for McPeak. And again, it's Lenzen with the coverage.
Oh.
McPeak's coming limping off.
Yeah, he is. Oh, ouch.
But that was very good coverage by Lenzen, who has been glued to Liam McPeak on this drive. There was no way, and McPeak can't get off that left ankle, left calf.
I
maybe.
don't know. He grabbed his knee, too.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's knee. I think Lenzen contacted him as he broke that play up, but, it was kind of a glancing blow. And McPeak cannot get off. He's going to be attended to there. It didn't look too bad. He tried to hop off, and then he just gave up there. And must be worse than we think. 33-16, Douglas lead. 4:35 to go. And Jackson facing a 4th and 9. What do you do with that? I don't know. As we have a break in the action, we'll take the break as well as McPeak is down. We'll check out him in a moment. More football coming up on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network. No, we'll stay here as McPeak does get back up. It's the left leg, ankle or knee. And we hope maybe just a cramp. Jackson, meanwhile, I don't know what do you do here except just close the gap a little if you can and work on some things that might be useful later in the season. Cosby in the backfield along with the quarterback. Johnson trips left, one receiver to the right. 4th and 9 play coming up here. Johnson surveys the defense, put Cosby in motion. Johnson wants to throw, looking downfield, wants it all. Near side, looking for Kendall, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. He overthrew him and threw it outside edge, and Kendall never could get there.
Yeah.
It was an idea. He was one-on-one. No safety help at all from Douglas. So Johnson identified the correct receiver, just didn't put the ball in the spot. And Jackson will turn it over on downs, and we'll see how Douglas wants to play it. With a 17-point lead and 4:28 to go, I imagine we're going to see a steady diet of Archuleta. They may give him the rest of the night off, and let's see if they put their other players out there. We may see Kyler Douse and Cody Hessler. I'll be interested to see how they play it. Yeah, Archuleta gets a break. He's done a ton today. He deserves a rest.
I mean,
it's Hessler and Douse in the backfield. Snap to Roberts. The give is to Hessler. Looking up the middle, nothing doing as that play is shut down. Sorry, that was Kyler Douse on the carry. Got maybe a yard. Tackle made by Garrett Seals for the Bronx. Jackson, I believe, calls the timeout here to stop the clock. Was 2nd and 9. The ball at the Jackson 30. That is a Bronx timeout. They have, I believe, 1 remaining. And with this timeout, we will mention that Jackson Hole Ford will meet or beat any offer. If you see a car you like on the Jackson Hole Ford lot, tell them you found it at a lower price and they'll meet or beat it. Because they have low overhead. The best deals in Idaho Falls, Salt Lake City, yeah, they're okay, but you can get deals like that right here in town without making the drive to IF or Salt Lake. Jackson Hole Ford, locals serving locals, sponsoring this time out. The big old scoreboard showing 33-16. Douglas lead it. Jackson's played a really fun, interesting, good football game. Whole lot of upside, whole lot of blue sky to the Jackson season.
Yep.
They just got to cut down the penalties and the mistakes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, I feel like 2 of the scores we gave Douglas was all due to our penalties. So take off those,
Bearcats come out on offense. 2nd and 9, ball just outside the Jackson 30. Pistol formation. Roberts gives the ball, delayed handoff. Wiggling out of the tackle is Kyler Douse, trying to find the edge. He cannot, and I believe out of bounds, which would stop the clock. Douse didn't want to do that. They're going to say no, he was inbounds.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No, that clock should be stopped.
Meanwhile, the play gained nothing. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Okay, I guess
3rd
not.
and 9. Douglas has to get to the Jackson 21. 3rd and 8. Bearcats unlikely to throw here. I imagine this is just going to be
just
another running play. Pistol formation. Roberts calling the snap. He pitches to Dowse. Dowse lost the handle, but it bounces right back up to him. Can you believe it? Kyler Dowse turns the corner, does not make the stick, and this time he's out of bounds. Clock stops at 3:25. Dowse short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th and about a yard or 2. We'll see what Douglas does. Obviously, they'll go for it here, I would imagine. 3:25 to go in the 4th. With a 17-point lead, the Cats will probably feed one of their backs and just try to pound it here to put this one away. Douglas taking plenty of time on the huddle. It'll be Roberts in that pistol formation with Dowse and Hessler in the backfield. It's Dowse, the second back in the I formation. Movement before the snap. Flags fly. That's on Douglas. Somebody flinched. That'll bring up 4th and 9 now for the Cats. A little tougher, but again, it doesn't really factor into what Douglas wants to do here. This is too far to try to field goal. Too short to kick a punt, and with a clock and a 17-point lead, I mean, you just run a play here on the ground and hope to pick it up. I think I would look for the Roberts keeper here because that's been money all afternoon, all night for the Douglas Bearcats. Keep an eye on the quarterback, number 15, calling his own number here. Watch the fake handoff to Dowse, see if Roberts keeps it. That play has been killing the Bronx all night. Roberts, the snap. He's going to go back to throw. I'm surprised. He lets it go. End zone, and it's picked off. Waylon Cosby with the interception, and now flags fly after the play. Did somebody say something? I don't know. But Cosby picks that one off. The pass was intended for Cash Lenzen, who's had a whale of a game for the Cats. But it was a little bit underthrown. Good coverage by Cosby, who was playing center field, free safety, and he picked that off in the end zone. Should be a touchback out to the 20, but we'll see what the flags are. They came after the play, and that's going to be some kind of unsportsmanlike on the Bronx. Oh, my.
Man.
I don't know what it was. I don't want to.
I'm not down there. Maybe it's some mouse going.
I don't
know. Some energy.
Without knowing,
it didn't look like anything.
I don't want to blame anybody. I don't even know what was done, let alone who did it. Meanwhile, the interception's all that matters. The turnover gives Jackson the ball. You almost would rather it to be incomplete there. I mean, you do want it to be incomplete. Cosby should have just knocked it down because the interception put the ball in the end zone. Now with the penalty, half the distance, Jackson just backed up at their own 10-yard line. 3:06 to go in regulation. Jackson trails by 17. Probably mathematically impossible to win this, but Jackson's going to work on a few things here and work on their 2-minute drive. They give to Cosby. He's got a little bit of room right side, gets out of a tackle and brings it out to the 20. It's a first down run, a pickup of 10. He was able to break the tackle of Cody Hessler and get 5 more yards to pick up 10. 1st and 10 for the Bronx. Clock under 3 now. Jackson going no huddle. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Cosby in the backfield with Johnson. He wants to throw. Johnson looking, has time over the middle. Poppy with a reception. Colin Poppy is all the way down to the Jackson 43-yard line. The big tight end with a catch over the middle. Grumbling, stumbling, bumbling to the 43.
I mean, they're playing. They got nothing to lose right now, do they?
Call it the 44. That play, I thought they should have been hitting all game long. Poppy over the middle. They've hit it twice now. Johnson with the snap. Back to throw. Has time, wants a man. Wide open. Caught. First down. That's Kendall. And another first down passing catch. Johnson to Kendall to the 42-yard line of the Bearcats. Jackson on the move. But keep in mind the Cats are playing a little bit soft here. They wanted nothing behind them. As they're playing deep, they're allowing some of these pass plays to be made. There's the give to Cosby. He's got a pick up of 4, 2nd and 6. trying to change things up there, maybe bust a big one over the middle, but it just wasn't there. As I believe Archuleta is enjoying a well-deserved rest. I don't see him out there. Douglas with a 17-point lead and giving their big senior a break. Back to throw. Johnson fires far side. Got a man. That's Liam Logan, I believe. I'll check that. Down to the 31-yard line. And will that move the sticks? That is Liam Logan on the reception. It'll be a first down, a minute 40 and counting. First and 10, Jackson at the Bearcat 31. Johnson to throw, plenty of time. Fires over the middle, wants a man too high. It's over the head and incomplete. Intended for Noah Zelesnik, but just too high for the 6'1", 195-pound junior. Had an idea. Zelesnik was open over that seam in the right hash, but Johnson just ear-mailed it over him. Brings up second and 10. Does stop the clock now with 91 ticks.
Oh, you did math really fast that time. Good
I
job.
know. How about that?
I know. I'm impressed.
Me doing math this late in the game. Cosby in the backfield, the lone back. And they give to him. Waylon Cosby, left side, got a little bit of room, misses a tackle, breaks another tackle. He's down to the 15-yard line, a big gain. Waylon Cosby going to move the sticks. First and 10 at the 15 to Douglas. Clock stops while they move the markers. Now it continues with a minute 20. Jackson first and 10 at the Douglas 15. Cosby again to the backfield with Johnson. Snap. Johnson looking to throw. Blitz coming from the far side is picked up beautifully. Meanwhile, Johnson tucks it and runs. He picks up 5, brought down hard at the 10. That was a good block. I believe that was Beresze who picked up the blitzer on the left side. That was a blind. That would have been a blind side at Johnson, but Beresze with a beautiful block keeps his quarterback clean. Under a minute to go. Timeout. That's on Jackson. They will take their final timeout of the game with 51 seconds to go. Jackson is on the move here in a drive that you could end in a touchdown. It would be nothing more than feel good, but it would make you feel good, wouldn't it?
It would make you feel good, and it's possible that they can do it. And again, penalties cost us because we gave them at least 13 points from penalties.
If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, go see Louie, the friendliest greeting manager in Jackson, and let Dusty, the general sales manager, go to work. He'll make you a deal every time. Jackson Hole Ford, locally owned and working for you, locals, sponsoring this timeout. Jackson out of timeouts now. Down 33-16, 51 ticks to go, but they're knocking at the door. 2nd and 5. Cosby in the backfield with Johnson. 2 receivers split far left, 1 to the right. That's Max Moore. Sorry, that's not Max Moore. That's Sam Rebel.
Touchdown, number 13.
Straight up the middle, and a touchdown for Jackson. Yeah, I think Douglas made it a little easy for him there. Who was that?
I think 13. Is there a 13? 13, 18. I thought it was 13.
18 would be Cosby. It was probably Cosby. I didn't even see it.
I didn't.
Sorry.
It was probably 18 because I said, yeah.
Yeah, run right up the middle. So that's a touchdown. Ronald would be Cosby's 2nd of the night. And the PAT coming. Jackson's going to kick it. It'll be Vincent Villasana again to kick the point after. Kick good, hold good, snap good, everything good. And it's through the uprights. So Jackson cuts into the lead a little bit and feels a little bit better about things. Now make it a 10-point game. Douglas 33, Jackson 23 with 47 seconds left in regulation. And we'll see if we get an onside kick here. Why not? It's something you got to work on. I mean, they rarely work, but they sometimes do. If you were ever going to do it, this is the time for it, and it's something you need to practice. And remember, week 1, you're practicing.
Right. Okay, and I'm thinking, here's how good goes. All right, all those penalties, say we that one touchdown we take away, 7 points, it's a 3-point game.
Take away the penalties, take away that kick return. Sure, but you can't do that.
I know.
Can't take things away.
But I think they played really, really good.
We'll see if Douglas is going to prepare for that onside, and I think they are. They send nobody back deep. They don't care. Nobody back to receive. They're all going to be up on the line. And the hands team is out there for the Douglas Bearcats. Meanwhile, the Bronx, how are they going to do it? Sometimes you can bounce them. Sometimes you can kick them real high. How do you want to try it? Vincent Villasano will do the duties there as he tees it up at the Jackson 40. Jackson going heavy left side, far side. That's not Villasano, by the way. It's Alexi Balog, sorry. So Balog is going to do the kicking. And it looks like it's going to be directed to that far side, top of your screen. Keep an eye on that. Alexi being real careful about the angle of the ball in the tee. And he's ready to go. Watch an onside kick here. Balog. He does dribble one that hasn't gone 10 yards yet. Now it does, and this is going to be close. Jackson says they've got it. Do they? I think they do. Woo! Right at midfield, the Jackson Bronx say they have this ball. The Zebras are trying to unpile him here, and we'll wait for the official call, and they do. Jackson Bronx have recovered the onside kick. Well, it's still a 10-point game. Kimmy, it's impossible, right?
I don't know. We scored quickly.
Do
another one of those and get down. I mean, I don't know.
It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
We'll see how the Bearcats play this.
Nothing is impossible.
Douglas already plays a too deep safety look. You can imagine here they're going to be really deep. Jackson Bronx break the huddle, and yes, Douglas is showing deep. Look how deep they've got one of their safeties on the far side. He's 20 yards off the ball. Johnson, meanwhile, throws far side incomplete. Pass intended for Logan, never made the mark.
Too fast, man.
Yeah, quick play there. Meanwhile, playing center field well off the ball for the Douglas Bearcats is Colin Roberts, their quarterback, who's playing some free safety. Look at him. He's even out of your frame. He's so deep. He's standing at his own 25.
Gosh, yeah.
He's not going to let anything deep happen. Here's Johnson looking to throw. Has time. Fires. Got a man. Oh, incomplete. And it was Roberts who came up and made the big hit at just the right time. And he knocked it loose. That play very nearly worked. The intended receiver looked to be Tyson Kendall again. And that almost worked. Boy, what a play by Roberts.
That's like they ran into each other. Ooh, that could have been dangerous.
Boy, that was darn close, and I believe that was Kendall. Boy, Johnson and Kendall really developing something here in this game. They cooked up some magic last week, and it continues this week.
That's awesome.
Third and 10. Johnson looking to throw. Has time. Late blitzer, and now he lets it go, and that's going to be picked off. Nobody there for the Bronx as Johnson had to get rid of it. He was almost sacked. Meyer with the interception, trying to run it back here near side, knocked out of bounds.
Sorry, I don't even think I got it down
that's
there.
not Meyer. That's Denton Brown on the pick. So Johnson just aired it out. He had a delayed blitz by the Bearcats, and that pressure caused Johnson to feel like he had to get rid of it. And he unloaded in an area where nobody was except for the Bearcats. It was only Denton Brown there who picked it off, and that's going to be another interception. Not going to look good statistically for Grant Johnson. He's had a good game, better than the stats would indicate. But the turnover here is going to put this one away. 21 seconds. Meanwhile, there's a penalty on the Bearcats after the play, and I don't wonder if the officials in week one aren't being really sticklers about the jawing and the after the play stuff. They just don't want to see it.
Well,
and
we're way down there.
We've seen a bunch of those after the whistle flags, which would indicate teams are probably chatting. As we're going to take a knee for Douglas, and that should do it. Jackson has no timeouts. That'll be the ball game. So this one a final at the William T. McIntosh Stadium. The score, the Douglas Bearcats 33 and the Jackson Bronx 23. Jackson drops the home opener. They fall to 1-1 on the season. Douglas, in their first game of the year, get an important victory, and that's not easy for Douglas to make a 7-hour road trip and get a win here in Jackson. That's a tough thing to do, to come into hostile territory after a long road trip across the strait and come in and get a win, but they do it. Douglas with the 10-point win. As you see the lineup at the 50-yard line, center field. The good news is for the Bronx, I believe we got through it mainly injury-free. I'm trying to see if Liam McPeak got back out there. There were times where...
Is he number 4?
Yeah.
I saw him sitting on the bench and looking kind of mad, so...
Both teams line up, congratulate each other. That was McPeak's out there in the lineup. Good. Trying to see if he's limping. Good game. These two teams don't typically see each other very often. Obviously, they're both out of quadrant. I mean, you're talking about a rival that's all the way across the state in Douglas, 7 hours away. But there's been some familiarity breeding between these two teams. These players starting to get to know.
Buffalo? Because we're traveling there next week.
It's close. Buffalo's probably 6 hours. Douglas 7.
Okay.
I think Douglas is a little farther. But yeah, it's a long way to go for both of these teams. Good job of the Bearcats to get it done here, and a good job of the Jackson Bronx, who look very good in their home opener. And it's just a lot of if not, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We'll be back to wrap things up right after these. You're enjoying Bronx football on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
When fire, water, mold, or other damage threatens your home or business, hand the cleanup over to the company that stays with you every step of the way. The trained professionals at ServPro handle everything from commercial water loss to residential handyman services and everything in between. Call ServPro of Jackson Hole at 307-342-1400 anytime, day or night, to schedule an appointment. That number, 307-342-1400 for ServPro.
Hey Bronx fans, do you want the best security for your home or business? Well, call the local experts today at Mountain Alarm, a proud part of Pye Barker Fire and Safety. Mountain Alarm provides world-class fire, security, life safety, and surveillance, teamed with unmatched customer service and the highest-rated 24/7 monitoring. With our state-of-the-art systems, you can get text or email alerts in the event of an alarm or view live and recorded video on your smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can also remotely control your thermostats, lights, locks, garage doors, and so much more. Call 307-733-5844 or visit mountainalarm.com today to get a free assessment and no obligation quote on a new or upgraded system for your home or business.
Texting and driving. Texting and driving? Everyone knows there really is no and. You're either texting or you're driving. In other words, if you're typing or reading anything while you're behind the wheel, you're not paying attention and you're not in control of your vehicle. That's why law enforcement around the state is cracking down on distracted driving. Hey, Wyoming, let's put an end to texting and driving, because we all know better. There is no and. This message was paid for by WYDOT.
Live play-by-play coverage of Jackson Bronx sports continues with Jake Nichols on KZ95.
Back to the back one last time. This one a final. Douglas 33, Jackson 23. In a very entertaining home opener for the Jackson Bronx. They fall to 1-1 with the loss in week one. Douglas, meanwhile, in their first game of the year, improves their record to 1-0. As the pictures show you, the Jackson Bronx huddling it up now in that end zone down by the scoreboard and talking over a few things. They left a lot out on the field, things they could have done better for sure, but things that they did right and things that they can build on for sure. A little bit of both. A little bit of, hey, we shot ourselves in the foot, and a little bit of, wow, we did some good things.
They did some good things.
Mixed bag of what you take away from this. The loss hurts, though. Let's look for a player of the game. Kimmy K, who do you like on the Cats side? Douglas played a good ball game.
They did. I mean, I got to go with either Carter Archuleta or Colin Roberts, the quarterback. I don't know.
You
I'm
know
leaning
what?
towards both of them. I can't.
Yeah, I hear you. Archuleta is the obvious choice.
I know, but
It's
that's why I
like-
think. But the quarterback
I
did
know.
a really good
Yes,
job. So
yes.
I know both.
You know what? When
Can
they
I duel?
when they rip open the envelope and they say Carter Archuleta, it reminds me of the MTV Awards, and they say song of the artist of the year, Taylor Swift, and you're like, duh, Carter Archuleta, duh. But yes, he had a great game, and he really runs the Douglas offense and defense. But as you pointed out, the second in command, Colin Roberts, had a heck of a ball game for a guy that we didn't know much about. His first time quarterback in this team. He's a basketball star, but he looked really, really comfortable calling the signals for the Bearcats. I'm going to go with a shout out to somebody not even on the board who we're not thinking of, and that was Cash Lenzen, number 7. Cash
That's right.
had a heck of
You did
a
say
ball
his name
game.
a lot. Yeah, that's
so
right.
I like Lenzen. You're going to go with Roberts, and Archuleta sort of the whole hum.
Yeah, we just
Everybody
know
saw that coming.
Archuleta's there. All right.
Who do you like on the Jackson Bronx home team, the losing side? Who impressed you in the losing effort?
I know we do. I got a duel there too. I'm kind of thinking Tyson Kendall, but I'm also thinking Grant Johnson did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm stuck between the two of them. I mean, there's a couple
Can't go
others
wrong.
named that are going there, but
Yep.
those are the two that pop up to me. But I can't.
Can't go wrong.
I can't choose one over the other.
With either guy.
I know.
Yep.
I can't.
I could go that way just to be contrary, to add the third guy in the mix. I liked Tyson Kendall a lot, and I thought Grant Johnson was very good.
Who
But
will you throw in? I'll be curious if
he
I thought
threw
of him.
3 picks, but that was painful. I'm always going to give a shout out to the linemen.
I know.
Tate Wiley and Jack
But-
Bears, they had good games.
Those two know I love them to death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did, and you did. They had a couple good stops, both of them. I did think of that, and I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to be kind. I mean, Waylon Cosby had a pretty good game.
I thought him a little bit.
I'm going to go Tyson Kendall. Kendall
Okay.
did a lot of he made some huge catches.
I was leaning more towards him, but I was like, Johnson did a good job.
You remember one of the first plays of the game in the first quarter, Jackson was whistled for roughing or a misconduct 50-yard when Tyson Kendall put the smackdown on a receiver. I mean,
that was a good
set
penalty.
the
I'll go
tone.
there because,
boy.
that was a hit.
That
baby.
was one of the first plays of the game, and Kendall just laid the wood to the receiver for. I want to say that was either Meyer or Tillard. I can't tell an 8 from an 9 with these uniforms out there, but I'm going to go with number 1, who reminded me a lot of Seb Brunner. What a game from Tyson Kendall. But again, I want to shout out to the O-line of the D-line. They were super good.
The line did good.
Linemen never get enough credit. They were all good. From Wiley to Connor Scott to Jack Barazay, they were all good.
I was just wondering what kind of season we're going to have, and I got to tell you, this being my first game watching them and hearing about last week, I'm kind of excited. What's ahead? I really am excited to watch them. Win or lose, I think they're going to play some good games.
Definitely excited for the season. Good football game. That was fun to watch, and we're going to have to roll up out of here. This action tonight brought to you, as always, by Mountain Alarm of Jackson Hole, the highest quality security, safety, and automation backed by the best customer service in the business. Mountain Alarm of Jackson Hole. WYDOT, the Wyoming Department of Transportation, keeping our highways safe. ServPro of Jackson Hole, faster to any disaster like it never happened. ServPro. Jackson Hole Ford, locally owned and operated dealership, and Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on. Big thank you to our sponsors. Big thank you for you, our listeners and viewers. Happy to have you along. We'll join you next week. We're on the road to Buffalo, shuffling off to Buffalo. We'll see you there. We'll be on the air with a pregame and full game coverage there. All the action right here on behalf of Jackson Hole Radio. I'm Jake Nichols alongside Kimmy K, wishing you and yours good night.